All right, guys, we're back for our round 10 footy bets. We're here with Jono. We're going to go over our round 9, and obviously it was not the best week. Like some good games of footy, but yeah, not good for the punt this week.
Some weeks are bad, some weeks are good. Great games though, fuck. Best games, best round I've seen in a long fucking time.
Oh yeah,
So
some of those games, like the Saturday night, the Gold Coast Doggies, the showdown, and then not to mention like what I thought was going to be so. I'm a Lions fan, so the seeing that game and I thought it was just going to be a snooze fest. Actually, come down to the wire on Sunday Arvo. Yeah.
but even like give North credit, even give the fucking we thought it would have been in the Salad Dweller game. Like they fucking actually put on a good performance. Richmond West Coast, good on them.
Oh, actually, yeah, so my bet got voided, and so I kind of tapped out of that game. I'm like, I'm not watching this shit, but it was a very good
Yeah.
game.
And then like so
Everything
just
was
to quote
pretty close, yeah.
Hardball Gets, they said statistically it's the closest round of footy I think in 53 years.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we just it was an all timer,
Yeah, I was
So,
going to say, like, the results of the round were very good, but we have a decent hit list for who missed this week. One thing I just wanted to touch on, well, two things. One, I just wanted to give a little shout out, or first of all, to all of you. Thank you so much for watching, thumbsing up the video. It just lets us know that you're watching and, interacting. And the comments too. I do definitely enjoy seeing all the comments, or Jono and I, seeing what you're all up to, feeling the pain when someone misses. But specifically, Blue Baggers Edge got a comment on the post section about maybe, because I think 2 weeks ago we only won like $6. This week is another loss. Maybe let's tone things down a little bit and instead of aiming for $3 to $4 legs, maybe we just tone it down, and I'll just show you this graphic. This is the little how many games you have to win at which odds. So usually I like this one up here, the $3 one where you only have to win 3 games to break even. So, obviously if you're doing 10, 20, whatever value you're doing, if you do the same value, you only need 3 to hit to break even from a 9-round game of footy. And I love that because I feel like 3 is very achievable, and that's not even including the bonus bets on top of it. So something I like to do, but if we're going to shorten the odds to $2.50 or so, that makes it we have to win 4 games. So yes, you're reducing the odds, but it means you have to also win an extra game for the round. I mean, you can go to $2, but you have to win 5. So I'm thinking this week would be a great week, maybe just for a safe week. We've all had a couple of misses, like where it's been 1 posie, 2 posies, an injury. It's like, fuck, can we just catch a break? So I think this might be a good week to just lower the expectations, maybe enjoy some footy instead of just having these nail biters. Let's just, try and tone it down a bit.
stabilize the ship.
Yeah, so great term, stabilize it. So that was a really good comment from Blue Baggers Edge, and who's been watching for a while because, they noticed I brought this up in a video like last year. So really appreciate it, and good time to do that. The second thing I wanted to mention was, so obviously I really like this table we're including, the players who missed. I take all the players we missed from the bets, pop them in here, and it's a great way to just see, okay, where did we really go wrong, and just collate all the players and see them back to back to back. And like, excluding Ned Long and John Noble, because you've got to remember, Ned Long has been a sub for a lot of these games. John Noble has had, like, I think it's 3 of those games in there that are at Collingwood. He, like, when you even look at their last month, right? Like, the last month of footy for them has been great. A lot of those players there, Laird, Dawson, like Dow, like, fuck, even Ware, they've all been hitting and been great over their last month. Ned Long had less minutes. We'll speak about that later. Carl Amon got concussed in that 18, and Josh Dacos had that historically just low game against, it wasn't Adelaide, was it Adelaide Oval? Or maybe it was against Adelaide. But the point is, the players that missed, I still feel like are valid. So yes, it sucks. Yes, we lost a fair few, but there's no like, oh, that player was no chance. All these players here were a great chance of hitting. So we just want to keep that in mind, be rational, steady the ship, and then we'll reassess the rest of the bets coming up. But it's a great time to just not lose our heads, but just, get a good gauge of where everyone else is at.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, easy. All right, let's move on to the first bet, the first one. And I guess to start us off was the Freo Collingwood game, and obviously Jono has good eyes on that. I mean, I do too, but Jono's a Pies man. So what was crazy, I'll just say straight up, Collingwood won, and I was shocked with how little footy they got. Like, Jack Crisp, the only player to get over 20 posies, that's a punter's nightmare.
Yeah, and don't think that Jack Crisp was getting that again. He was put into the midfield for all the restings that Collingwood did. He's going back to the wing this week, you'd assume. So don't be going thinking Jack Crisp is a safe bet for 20 again. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, Jack, he's barely been on my radar. Well, he's on my radar for 15 when he's like over like $1.10, $15.
I like him again for 15 this week. Don't get me wrong.
If we can get him, but not 20.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, he might be gone. Not 20, no way. Yeah, it was a weird, I think Collingwood went in there with a game plan that and I think they knew they didn't have the cattle to win the midfield game, and obviously Nick Dacos had a really down night.
Oh, okay. So let me get. So Corey Wagner, have you ever seen him tag like that in a game of?
Not that hard.
No, I've so obviously he's a defender, and he will look down. What's the word? Lock on. Shut down the small forwards and shit like that. I don't think I've ever seen him run man to man over the whole ground on a midfielder ever. Yeah. And no matter how much footy you watch or plan for or read, you can't account for that. That was what the fuck.
You'd think Nick gets he's not going to get that hard of a tag this week against Adelaide, but surely Peatling or Neil Bullen. Neil Bullen did a really good job on him in Queen's birthday. So, yeah, I think that's going to be coming anyway. But, yeah, Nick had a down night. So, Collingwood just couldn't get anything going in the midfield. And I think it just obviously showed in their numbers. They just didn't touch the ball. So.
Yeah, and Dacos, who we were being so conservative, you can see him there in the misses just below. $1.05, a value booster just doesn't hit, and shit like that does happen. And look, I know he's not the problem. Also, Nick Dacos missed. Yes, he had a hard tag. Yes, he was also sore. Played full forward. That's just shit. But the one to worry about for that one is Ned Long. So I've been very, very bullish on him.
I think we're going to blacklist him for a bit.
I think because we were speaking, we've both been bullish on Ned Long. He is great at getting the footy, but obviously what's just, restricting his ceiling is his midfield minutes. When there was no Pendles, no De Goey, still Sidebottom was going to get subbed and was subbed. That was another good call. But and when Nick Dacos is injured and getting tagged and then playing in the forward line, all the stars were aligning for Ned Long to be in the guts, get your minutes up. He played, I think it was 71%, which was the same as last week. And there was times where he was he was sub 70%, 65%. Oh, it was just infuriating.
Yeah, it is weird as well, because when he is in there, he's not a liability. He's a benefit being in there. And they just, we all thought that the Ned Long would go through the roof. It was Jack Crisp who went from barely playing a CBA to 60% out of nowhere. Yeah. So, I think even when we get these injuries, say for Collingwood midfielders, he's still not a guarantee. So
so Ned Long, I know he gets 50 to 60, so he did get 65 in that Freo game. He is getting midfield time. It's just the overall minutes. When he's playing, essentially, if you're betting on Ned Long, you have to know you're only going to get him for a max 3 quarters. You're essentially, it's so annoying.
Unfortunately, and especially with this week with the cattle coming back, it's only going to stay. It won't go up. There's no way it's going up.
I thought if it would have to go up this week, it didn't. I'm off. I really like Ned Long. I mean, look, we can get him for 15. Yeah. Look, I know we got 12, but all of Collingwood players were down. So
until we see, I don't care if he keeps hitting. Until we see the minutes go up, I don't think we can go near him. So.
Yeah. I mean, when Collingwood do find form, they are in good form. They're winning. I mean, when they are just getting so much of the footy, when Nick Dacos is on, it helps him as well. So, obviously, everyone being down, Ned Long, I'm just so frustrated on that. Just the lack of midfield time. So, yeah, like you said.
In fairness, though, look, we saw the contrast with the Freo boys. Look how they destroyed them.
So, they were in this position last week. They got no footy. Brayshaw, Sarong, Clark, all of them missed last week. And far out did they turn it on. Clark, Brayshaw, Bolton got 28 posies. What world does Bolton get almost 30? That's insane. They all bounce back.
Yeah. Just on only other Freo player I really want to talk about is probably Sean Darcy's gone. Luke Jackson's out. We'd never bet on Luke Jackson, I don't think, because it just now we'll see his odds plummet on the 15 packet. But
yeah, exactly.
Patrick Voss for a goal, he's pretty consistent. So.
I did a separate bet for that game, and picked him up. Obviously, I had like some of the Collingwood boys in there, but yeah, he was someone who I was bullish on and kicked. But the thing is, you have to worry about, which I noted. So Paddy Voss plays relief ruck. He'll pinch hit, and sometimes that just sucks because he's going to be in the forward line like only 50-60%.
With Sean Darcy out, he obviously has to relief ruck now again.
Yeah, so I was bullish on him last week. I'd just be a little hesitant just because he has to come up the ground a bit more. But he'd still be playing forward, 50-60% of the time.
Yeah. Other than that, it's until the teams come out for Collingwood, probably nothing else. I don't really have anything else to say on this one. It was a good game to watch. Just weird game for Collingwood to win with such little ball of time and ball.
Yeah, it was very hard. Houston got like 4 posies in the first 3 minutes, and he finished on 12. So Ned Long missing. Oh, Perryman hit.
Talk about a blacklist player, Houston. Steer clear at the moment. Far out.
Yeah. So again, great game. Just frustrating from a punter's point of view because a lot of the Collingwood players.
It was an unusual game. If you win the inside 50 contested possession and contested possession inside 50 count.
I think they only got 34 inside. I was listening to on Fireball or whatever the Monday one is today. The Friday one. They got 30 something inside 50s and scored from 20 of them. So it was super efficient.
Well, so the Freo won the 3 key stat areas. They won the inside, dominated all of them. Inside 50 count, clearance count, and contested possession. You win those 3, it's 99% of the time you win the game. Collingwood led the entire game. It was crazy.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were about to say Collingwood had, and I was like, no, they had none. Yeah, Freo dominated the ball and the entries. So
it was a weird game. Bad for punters, good for footy.
Very bad for punters. Now we'll move on to the second one. So this one I was freaking chuffed with. The St Kilda Carlton game. So boy, Ryan Burns, he was $1.67. He looked so good. I think he had 7 posies in the first quarter. We were counting our money. Wanganeen Miller had maybe double digits. He did get injured and slowed it down. He could have probably got 35 if he wasn't off for half a quarter. But thank God he came back on. So that would have shit me if he didn't. And Jack Higgins kicked 2 goals in a half footy, and then he subbed off. So, man, this one was great. Our bet was pretty much done at the end of the third quarter.
It was done 1 minute into the fourth quarter. Yeah. I was at this game, luckily enough, and watching Wanganeen Miller alive is one of the best things you can see. Right?
Jono was
he's silk.
Yeah, he is silk. I was watching it you can watch it pretty instantaneously on the web browser. You just ×2 it. But I was watching it on the TV, and Jono's texting me, bang, he got it. And 30 seconds later, I'm like, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. They've got. We'll look at him later. I think even Wanganeen Miller, he's got a long break and he's playing West Coast this week. So.
All right, sorry, we had to quickly just chop a video. Had to switch some things around, but all the players hit there. We were super chuffed about. Higgins, Wanganeen Miller, and Ryan Burns all had great games. This bet was done and dusted very early. One player I wanted to note out, which a lot of you picked up on, and I'm going to put my hand up as well, and I had another bet with them included. Adam Chera, who hit 18, and it was his first miss for the whole year, and man, really sucks. I think they were $1.17, so pretty short odds, but yeah, I did get greedy in another bet. This one thankfully hit, but yes, I think just maybe coinciding with what I said at the start of the video, it's just great to reduce the legs, minimize the risk, because we shouldn't really be making those mistakes trying to just chase the next dollar value, which I sometimes do.
He he did get switched into defense for a bit of that game, to cover those injuries. So yeah, I feel like if he stays in that midfield in that second quarter, he gets that 20. So.
Yeah, and that was the McGovern. Was someone else injured? Because I know Haynes was off for a bit.
McGovern's injured. Shout out to what's his name on our group.
So yeah, that was
Jacko, was it?
Jacko, who bet on both McGovern brothers, one week, and that.
Yeah, definitely. We can't hold out for concussions, but yeah, geez, and also it sounded like a pretty serious internal injury to McGovern, the other McGovern.
McGovern gets concussed. The other, what happened to brackets?
I think it was cracked ribs potentially. He got nailed in a tackle. Looked pretty bad. Anyway, he went down. Nick Hayes had a HIA, and Blake Acres.
So he was off for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Blake Acres came off with a sore shoulder for about 15-20 minutes. And then, what was it? The other kid, I forgot the other kid who went off. Cowan went off.
Cowan, was it?
Yeah, so
Cowan,
they were bleeding injuries as well. So one thing I'd say, interestingly, Windhager did not tag. So I found that really weird.
Yeah, so a lot of the comments, again, thank you for the comments. It's great to see just where, who everyone's betting on, what happened. The two main players I saw everyone, unlucky miss out on, Chera, who missed 18, as you said, went into defense. And then the other one was Windhager. So Windhager has hit every game this year, and he's been tagging. The one game he doesn't tag, and he actually plays on the wing, he doesn't hit. Like, of all games you think he's going to hit is where he's not tagging and winning his own footy. So
the last 2 weeks, he hasn't gone into this, like he's been playing wing last 2 weeks.
Okay, so admittedly, I hadn't seen that, like his tag had stopped.
No, but he was still going after like Brayshaw and stuff the week before. This week, it just seemed like he didn't really go after anyone.
Yeah, I mean, like out of all mids, like Carlton's mid, like is, I don't know, they get so much of the footy. So, and Cripps was just going to be the bull back in the midfield again. Like, he doesn't need to play.
I think I don't know. Like, sorry, who was it? They love Hugo. These two new, the Hugo Garcia and Boxall. They love those two. So maybe it's just kind of fucked him up a bit. But yeah. So good one. Jack Higgins though, like was sick and came off, but still looked amazing. Like they don't kick goals unless Jack Higgins is kicking them really. So.
Yeah, no, and actually speaking of being sick, so again that was a great shout out to. It was the guy who's got the icon as Fraser Garrick, JR9950, who said Higgins was sick, came off the track early on Thursday, and he got subbed for being sick. Well, that's what they said in the commentary anyway. And thank God he had a great start early and kicked those 2 goals. But yeah, that's a great little insight. And I feel like we're very... we're across our own teams, the ins and out, what's going on. Like, I've been obviously keeping up to date with all the injuries for Brisbane, like, Kitty Coleman and Tom Doedee. And all that, and so it's a great insight because I wouldn't know that with Higgins.
Nah, that's a really good pickup. We should have listened to that one far out.
Wow, he's still here, actually, even though he got subbed. Yeah,
he looked like he could have had this buried in the first quarter. He was that on fire early.
It makes me even more bullish for him for next week for 2 goals. Because
against West Coast, yeah.
Oh fuck, might have to be 3. Yeah, but I think that's all the players I really wanted to hit on. Anyone that you want before we move on?
Nah, I think that was good. Nick Haynes had a great game. He's not really relevant though to us. Stewart keeps up his good form, just keeps hitting. So
yeah. Wanganeen Miller has only missed that 1 game for 25 posies, and it was 24. So he's been great. 30 posies, 76% time on ground. Wanganeen is hitting 30 posies in 3 quarters of footy. Huge.
Yeah, I think I like him. As long as there's going to be times when he does get attention on it. I don't think he's going to get it against the West Coast. I feel like they're just going to go out there to play. They won't bother with tags and things like that.
Something to be wary of. So all Melbourne defenders missed their posse bracket 2 weeks ago. Last week, Bowie, McDonald, everyone missed. And then when Brisbane,
I don't think it's going to affect him though. I feel like
he does play. Well, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, Zorko missed playing against West Coast. I don't have any other examples of, but just from recent data, we'll reconvene.
I think just the way we'll talk about it later in the video. But.
Last one to touch on for me that I was very bullish on and wanted to back, but I chose. So when I do like Ryan Burns at $1.67, like I'm not doing another $1.67 leg, but someone who I was very tempted to was Jack Silvani, and someone you would never notoriously bet on, playing in the forward line, hasn't played for years, but in the back line, he's taking great marks and he is getting a lot of the footy. I don't think he had like any kickouts because I think that's Saad's job, but that just sort of goes to my point where he is getting kickouts. Yeah, he got no kickouts, but he might get one here or there. It goes to my point where he is getting a lot of the footy and we're not relying on him for kickouts. So I think that is great. Like Caleb Daniel for one. Fuck, if he could just get more kickouts, but still, you don't.
Saints is definitely it's an easy kill though for a player like Silvani with the lack of forward though. That's all I'd say. Like it's if you're going to feast in the defensive marking game, it's against St Kilda with it. Jack Higgins is their only player down there. That's all I'd say. So,
yeah. Well, I think he also hit against Geelong, but he was on Dangerfield. But yeah, he's been looking good. I think he's
definitely someone we can look at. I think West Coast is, as well next week. Fucking bank it. But,
yeah. No.
Oh, the ball might not go down there. Oh no, they're not playing West Coast. Sorry, my bad. Who are they playing?
Carlton
Sydney
next week.
Sydney. Yeah,
right. Friday.
I'd go against Sydney.
Yeah. Now let's move on. We're keeping the convo a little bit longer this week because just on the off chance we can't record on Friday, we should be able to. But it's nice chatting about all the players. So game 3, Melbourne versus Hawthorn. So everyone was great here. It's so annoying. Bowie hit again. Tom McDonald, who I was iffy on, had a great start. I think he was on 7 at quarter time. He slowed down and just hit. Thankful. But Carl Amon, probably my
We
lock.
had this, so every other leg was done with 15 minutes to go, and Carlimon needed 2 touches.
And then he subbed, not subbed. He's on the bench with like 5 minutes to go. I'm like, fuck. Well, there's that one done.
Yeah, I unfortunately as well. Unfortunately, the game, that's when Hawthorn just put the foot down and the ball didn't go down there. It just was over.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. I feel they've got so many. They've got so many halfbackers though down there that are great. And now also would need to look into his numbers the previous week since CJ's come back. CJ's getting a lot of ball.
So this is Carl Amon's first proper miss because he missed last week with a concussion, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. And even with Scrimshaw back and when Battle and Barras were playing, he still hit. And that's a good point. CJ is popping off at the moment.
Barras wasn't there though, so maybe that may have impacted him. He didn't get a lot of easy handballs kind of off Barras down there. So
yeah. So I'm not ruling Carl Amon off by any means just yet, but because this is to me his first proper miss. I'm not counting his concussion game, even though it's counted down there.
Yeah.
All the hits were great. Petrarca, fantastic. Oh, do you know anything more about that Clayton Oliver tagging role? Like,
far
what
out.
the fuck is that? So Clayton Oliver had no
most
posies.
Expensive tagger in the history of the game.
Did he have no posies in the first quarter or something? Or
I think I was looking at it. I think it was about 3 minutes to go in the first. He got a kick.
Far out. 13 posies for someone who's supposed to be averaging like 25 plus.
And the way that they're talking about, like Simon Goodman's like, yeah, I really liked it, and they said Clayton really liked playing the tagging role. We're going to look to utilize it. They're like, we're going to utilize it this week against Lachie Neale and stuff. I'm like, oh fuck.
That is wild.
So definitely do not bet on Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, you got your ruckman just getting more posies than your inside bull midfielder. That is, the world's upside down.
One of your most expensive players in the game, and
yeah.
I do not know what's going on. Trent Rivers did get a bit of a boost. Now, I think with Jack Viney coming back, Trent Rivers goes back to the back line. So, but he definitely got a bit more midfield time. Clayton Oliver, it's mind blowing. Like, and they're saying they're going to use it on Lachie Neale. Like, does that mean we stay up Lachie Neale? I don't think so.
We'll see. Lachie, he got shut down in the North game, and he had a quiet one. So,
well, in fairness, John Newcombe kept him to 19 touches, and he was very ineffective.
Wow! So I was bullish on Jai Newcombe. So I'm glad we didn't include him. I was bullish on Warple, who hit, but he was just benefiting off.
He killed it. He was probably best on, I thought.
Yeah. So. No, nice. Anyone you want to touch on?
No, it was a bit of a weird game. It was just a tug of war, low scoring game for 3 quarters, and then Hawthorn just cracked them open at the end. It was it was hard to get a read on this one. I think Hawthorn had pretty easy games the last 3 weeks. I think they're getting a bit of a tougher one this week, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they got Gold Coast in Darwin.
Oh,
so
nice. In Darwin.
Off a 5-day break.
Oh, jeez.
So they're going to be some hot, exhausted Hawks out there, and Gold Coast are used to that heat.
Didn't they just play in Darwin?
They're there for like a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about Gold Coast when we get to them. But yeah, I think the Hawks are going to be very tired, and like Collingwood were a bit lucky; they only had to go to Perth. Going to Darwin is another story.
Yeah. No, true. Moving on to the fourth one, the Essendon and Sydney game. So, I'll tell you what shits me. I have my YouTube notifications on, and there's a point now where I'm only getting like half the notifications. I used to get every notification for a message, and now something's going on where I'm only getting like half. And I missed, thankfully I just logged in to have a look. I missed Dylan Shield was starting sub, so that fucked us over. This bet got void, $50 back. So thankfully I included Caldwell, and I saw some others included, who was the other mid? I forget. But what I was very bullish on, that I regret didn't do at the time, in the video, I was insanely bullish about Redmond and Archie Roberts, but I was hesitant because Dylan Shield was back. I wasn't sure where he was playing. Dylan Shield was sub. Mason Redmond and Archie Roberts, what do you do? So Redmond got 32 posies, and Roberts got 27. And McGrath got a lot of it too. The backline absolutely feasted this game.
Yeah. Good, very good feast eating down there for those boys. Just a couple of injuries to the new kids as well, I think. Mm-hmm. The new kid did his ACL, but I don't think. Well, he got 16 touches and he also did his ACL. Fuck.
But actually, I'm just noticing every player. Well, so you know how for the Collingwood game only one player hit over 20 posies.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players hit over 20 for Essendon.
Yeah.
And pretty much the whole team, except like 5, hit over 15. What the fuck?
And it's not like Sydney's still got some good numbers in there. Like Chad just got to his 25 in fairness, but I like Chad again.
Yeah, well, we're only going Chad for 20, so 25's we can get him for 20.
Even been a bonus. I feel like this would have definitely hit if we got Chill for the whole game. But...
Oh yeah, this was okay. So, and in the video, I was about to say this was a better's delight, but just what I did see a lot of people went on, and I had them highlighted in orange. Zach Merritt, I feel like that was just an absolute obvious that James Jordan.
Tag.
Yeah,
still beasted in the end. And
still beasted. Yeah, and he did have to go forward. I think he kicked 2. But so yeah, having your mid sort of rotate whenever your mid is playing like forward, it's very unlucky for them to like hit 25. 20 is still like maybe achievable, but yeah, with the tag, Zach Merritt just finished on 19.
I think we did say that the Jimmy Jordan is like a like for like. That's the type of guy he likes. A bit of a smaller midfielder that's not super like. Obviously, Nick's a bit of a different story for him, but Lockie Neals, the Merritts, he loves that type of player.
Yeah, and so I do like Merritt, but I think, someone I'd definitely go next week to bounce back. But just got to be careful with those taggers. And, like, yes, like, we're careful with Windhager, and then he didn't tag anyone in the Saints game. But, yeah, you just got to be hesitant. And, like, Zach Merritt for 20 should have been, like, a layup. But even with the tag, I still would have been, like, all right with Zach Merritt. But Caldwell was the other midfielder back, the one I included. And
Parrish not far away.
I think he's... This week he'll be maybe listed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so Dylan Shield blacklist gone.
Yeah, especially if he's starting sub. I don't know if it was to get him into it because his last game he got a cramp. But yeah, I think maybe we've had our time in the sun with Dylan Shield. He's got us a couple of bets. It was
good. It was fun. It was a fun couple of weeks.
Exactly, it was fun while it lasted. Isaac Heaney also missed by 1, and he was someone I do like, but I've been more bullish on Warner this year. And McInerney, I think we can say goodbye to the $1.15, the 15 plus.
Gone.
He's got like 20 the last like 3 or 4. I don't know. He's just popping off. So McInerney, I don't know if I can do him for 20, but he's been great.
One I've it's the Goldie factor again. Goldstein is free money right now. Brody Grundy's been shit all year and comes out and gets a season high 23.
Yeah,
and
he got like
15 at halftime and a goal.
I'm pretty sure he had like 8 and 7 posies, and you're like, we should bet on Grundy. I'm like, he's still shit. I don't think he's going to hit. Far out. Yeah, Goldie, they're just,
just giving money away. And this week he's going up against Timmy English, who missed on a 13. I'm happy to go.
Tim English for 20. I reckon.
No. Let's just go Timmy for 15. He just missed a 15. So
we'll see.
I like Timmy for 15.
So. All right, yeah. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to it. But otherwise, this was a feasting game for the Essendon boys. So, just very unlucky about Zach Merritt. But otherwise, every other Essendon player that you would bet on would have hit. Anyone else?
No. That's all I got to say.
Nice. The game of Saturday night, the one that started slightly earlier, the Gold Coast Western Bulldogs game. So, fuck me. I thought I was an absolute genius. John Noble, I'm pretty sure... I think he was on 7 or he was on 8 posies at quarter time. He was leading Gold Coast for posies for most of the game. And in his second quarter, he died off a little bit. But then, man, if you thought he died off in the second quarter, his third quarter, he went freaking MIA. So he was gone for ages. So his first quarter, right, it was 8 posies, looking amazing. And he was on the bench for like 6 minutes. Second quarter, 5. Then 3 in the third, but man, he almost came home strong with 7 posies in the last, but it was a very tall order to try and get 9 posies in that quarter. But John and I were watching this one together live, and man, I was just riding.
He almost got there, but I don't know. It was like there's no reason why he didn't get there. Nothing really happened.
Well, Rioli popped off at a certain stage, and I think he got like 20. He got 24. So, and the thing is. Will Powell got 19 posies. Joel Jeffrey got 17. Bodie Hewland, he got 18. All the backline players there popped off and hit their respectful brackets. So Dan Rioli, 20. Hewland, 15. Jeffrey, 15. Powell, 15. Johnny Noble, I still believe his bracket's 25. But all the Gold Coast backline players there popped off, and I definitely see that taking at least 2 of John Noble's posies there. So I'm still bullish on Noble. I know he just missed, but every week I've watched, sorry, I'm talking for a while. Every week Gold Coast have played, always at least 2 of them have missed. Either it's been Rioli and Powell or Hewland and Jeffrey. Like John Noble has missed like a week, but that was not, has there been one week where all of them have hit? And like this was that.
Yeah, I think this week they got, like we spoke about them before. Hawks are going to will struggle in the 5-day break, and the Heat, all and that's contributed. I think they could definitely feast again up there.
So, and if we're trying to reduce our odds and legs and everything, I am insanely bullish for John Noble for 25, and then like 2 other safe ones. So we get our 3-game same game multi bonus bet refund opportunity. But he's like could be $1.70, $1.80 leg, and then you only need like very safe short ones just to get it to the $2.50.
Yeah.
So I'm still bullish on him. I like him.
The other one, we put him on our like watch list. Me and Jane spoke about him. Fiorini, first game in from the big dominance he's had in the VFL, got 19 straight off the bat. If he's available in the 15 touch bracket, maybe
he was for like $1.10. I was like, no way in hell. But like he did hit, but
it's only going to go down now, so it's like it's not even going to be worth. And I wouldn't go in for 20.
Yeah, so, no chance. No chance. Someone who we jumped off ship probably a month ago, and I'm very happy on that pick, was Matty Rowell. So, and when I say that, I'm talking about the 25 posse bracket. Yes, he just hit 20, but Matty Rowell is too much of a roller coaster where he can go 25, 26, 16, 15 posies. Just that's not a train I want to jump on.
If he's not tackling, which that's his bread and butter. Like he's like arguably the best tackler in the game. Like that's his bread and butter. If he's not tackling and getting those extra couple of kicks, getting those extra touches from scrapping on the ground, then he's not going to get anywhere. And
he looked great in the first month. He was doing that. He was like, Jesus, make way for Matty Rowell. He was second in the Brownlow, so I don't know what he is now, but yeah, he's definitely not.
And also, like I thought with the bit of a wet ball up there, like maybe the ball's on the ground a bit more, it didn't even matter. And I don't know. He is horribly out of form at the moment. So.
Yeah, just someone who I'm not that keen on anymore. But otherwise, everyone else in our bet looked great. The doggies, far out. And I was not bullish on Lockie Bramall anymore. I'm like, I'm going to jump off. Dale hit, Johannesson hit in our bet, Bramall did hit. Joel Frazier, it shits me so much where every other leg just looks so good, and then unlucky.
I don't think I'd go Bramble though. I'd keep going JJ. I'd be going JJ.
So you want to look for those players who want the footy. JJ, Dale, they want kickouts, they want receives, they want to run and carry. Bramall is like, I'll just play defense. If I have to make a bit of space here or there, I will. But like, he's not dying for the footy.
I think he's. As someone who knows the dogs better than me should speak up, but like I think he's their go-to the small like defense. Like if the team's got a good like he's now with JJ back there and Bailey Dale back there now together, they don't need him to touch the ball. I think he's just going to defend. So. Yeah.
Just going back to that Matt Rowell. So Matt Rowell was second in the Brownlow like a month ago. He's now gone out to 8th. He's $17. Yeah. So yeah, he's had his time in the sun. Riley Sanders, I want to speak about because I was bullish on him for 20 with no Trelaw. He just got 19, but that just meant Tom Liberatore, Richards, all 30 plus. Matt Kennedy got 19. That was his first miss this year for the doggies. But yeah,
played a lot. Hit 3 though.
Yeah. So look, still had a good game, but I just was liking him for a little bit more. Someone who, if they get a lot of game time, and don't get like subbed or dropped. So Caleb Poulter, who I was bullish on last year, the tall, lanky guy with long hair, plays on the wing. He was great. So there was a couple of sort of lesser known players like Oscar Baker, and who was on the wing, but then he kind of did a half back role. He's not playing at the moment. But Caleb Poulter is another. So just for anyone else who doesn't maybe bet on the doggies as much as I do, there's a couple of really good players there that fly under the radar.
Also sub-risk though.
Sub-risk, but yeah, just something to keep in mind that they're players that are like $1.60, $1.70, and I'm bullish on.
Riley Sanders though, one thing I'd say, since Bont's returned, he doesn't touch the midfield that much. He's thrown out to the wings. Even with Trelaw out this weekend, we didn't see any more increase in the time in the midfield. So yeah.
No, that's a good pickup.
Trelaw will be out though this week by the sound of things. So
another week, okay.
Yeah.
No,
so
cool.
I do like Liberatore and Ed, obviously, again.
Yeah,
so.
And they've been great. All the doggies players there, like no problem. And John Noble, I know he missed, but when I put this misses thing over, like look at his last month of footy, He was averaging probably like 28 posies in his last month. I really like him.
If he misses again this week, though, he's going in the bin.
Yeah, Jono doesn't like him,
bin.
but I really like John Noble. So he's not going in my bin yet. He has to miss for the rest of the year for me to put him in the bin.
No. If he doesn't get a kick this week, fuck.
Nah, I like him. You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's go to the showdown.
Yeah, the showdown. Another great game, but fuck me. Like, I know it was a great game, but it does shit you off a little bit so these weren't like, obscure picks. This is the captain and Rory Laird, like 250 game plus. I'm pretty sure Rory Laird is like up there with the most posies ever for a showdown. Gets fucking 18. Dawson gets tagged and beaten badly by Bergman, who again, just like Wagner in the first game, I don't think has ever played a tagging role. Yes, Bergman's played defense. Bergman has been horrendously out of form his last month anyway. Comes in, tags Dawson, and just gives him a bath. Like,
He's had more CBAs in this game than he's had in his entire career, like by a long way.
So I'm pretty sure from the top of my head, he maybe had like 7 posies, 8, 12 or 14, whatever. So he's missed. Played on Jordan Dawson and made him look stupid out there. So that was insane.
Go watch him out for a tag roll next week. I don't think they're going to use him they're not going to look at him as the guy to have in that midfield. I don't think they would, but against Geelong, Bailey Smith, maybe intriguing.
But it's like one of those things, it's like, literally, like, I feel like I watch so much footy, and like...
No one saw that fucking coming.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Like, maybe someone who's like, balls to the wall at Port Adelaide would have just known that, but yeah.
It was Lee Montagna, though, is like, maybe this is the next midfielder. Like, Jordan Dawson was a halfback, and and Hayden Young, and look at them, they're jet midfielders. I'm like, fuck off, really?
Well, you literally was like, oh, maybe I should pick him up in my draft. But
yeah. I don't think. I think it's a tag roll only, but yeah.
And just I don't know. I just need to see. But shit like that. Remember a couple of, like maybe a month ago where Tom Sparrow from Melbourne started doing just absolute lockdown. Tom Sparrow was good for 15, and then he gets like 4 posies or 3. And I'm like, what the fuck? And not only does it ruin, like, I mean, look, not many people are betting on Sparrow, but at the time he was tagging Holmes, and it's just mind-boggling.
Last one for me, Worrell. Fucking
Worrell has been fantastic. Intercept marks, playing with a lot of
leading that defense every week now.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. So Keys as well. He came back with a goal. Could have had him for both. So as soon as I stopped betting on him for posies, he gets, 21 posies, and he was running up. Like, Ben Keys is such a hard runner. So for posies, like, that's never been a worry because he always gets roughly 90%. Oh, he got 86% game time, but he's usually someone who's 90% game time, plays so much, great gut runner. The problem is he got burnt a little bit, but he's getting the footy in the back line. He's kicking goals. There was one where he missed. He got touched by, I think it was Connor Rosie, and then they fucked up the kick out, and then it comes back to Ben Keys. I'm like, oh yes, he was so good.
This week's gonna be interesting. Like we spoke about briefly. So Keys, Neil Bullen, and Peatling could all go to day costs, I think. So
yeah, and if you can see, like, I know Collingwood did beat Freo, but I think it's a great thing where if you just tag Dacos, keep him to under 20, you're a very good chance to win the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone else, Butters started out slow and then just fucking came home like a freight train. I was very bullish.
Rosie, this halfback role ain't changing anytime.
Yeah, I do like.
I think it's free money.
Yep,
So.
and I'm pretty sure he was like over $1.40. So yeah, Connor Rosie in the back line, fucking jet. And he won the medal from a losing... Look, we were watching it live, and I'm like, I think Connor's going to win this medal. And we're like, nah, but no one really stood out from Adelaide. So yeah, Connor Rosie.
I thought when they were falling behind, I'm like, at 3/4 time, I'm like, oh, they'll make the change now. They'll get Rosie in the midfield. They didn't even think about it.
Yeah, well, he's too good in that halfback role. And then especially when you got Bergman now thrown into the mid on top of like Butters, Drew, Wines. It's like,
yeah, exactly right. They need a bit more assistance in there. But yeah, so
yeah.
I think I like betting Port and Geelong this week. I think there'll be a bit of value in that game. So.
Yeah, but it is crazy. Like, again, when you look at the little miss thing, so Dawson and Laird are averaging like 25 posies in their last 10 games, and then they fucking plop out to shit. One, you can't...
Dawson feasts on Collingwood.
Yeah.
He loves to play Collingwood.
I'm keen for Dawson to bounce back, even Laird. So I'm keen to look at those guys next week. And that's this is what's great about reviewing the bets. It's like, yeah, it lost. Why'd it lose? Would you bet on those players again? Yes, at the end of the day. Laird and Dawson are great. They're going to average 23 to 25 posies for the year. They've had a bad game. Tagged and just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Even though Adelaide won, again, which is baffling because the same thing happened to Collingwood and Freo.
Yeah.
Next game. So this one for me actually got voided, and it probably happened to a lot of you. And to be fair, I wasn't that keen for this game anyway, so I didn't realize Short was a laid out. I didn't actually get to bet on this one at all. So I know a lot of people maybe did another bet with the Jaden Short news out, but even still, Thompson Dow missed, and he got tax subbed. I was so surprised. Thompson Dow, I don't think has been subbed for ages. And I'm just having a quick look at that now. I should have had that up before I looked because I was baffled that he got subbed. So in his 9 games this year, well, this was his first game getting subbed. So he has been the activated sub last year, and he got subbed off. So, but that was twice. But it's just, as soon as that happens to a player where they get tax subbed, you're like, especially when the game's on the line, you're just like, whoa, hold on. That is massive red flags. Why are you taking him off?
But that's a bit, let's blacklist this guy.
Yeah, well, just for like a week or two, blacklist.
Oh, yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah.
But that is just like massive red flags where, especially when Dow is $1.11, he's got to be like $1.40 for me to even think about him again if he's any chance of like a sub risk or whatever. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, just unfortunate. That was a bad one. Ryan Marrick,
he has been
best bet in footy right now.
He has been free, I think, since like round 2, the Brisbane West Coast game. Ever since he's gone in the back line there, he has been free. If you have not been including him in your West Coast games, I don't know what you're doing. He has been absolutely free money.
Hopefully we keep the $20 bracket, the 20 touch bracket. If that's still there, we're hitting it every week until it's gone. But surely these bookies are going to wake up and realize they can't keep including him.
Yeah, so I think at his worst, at his absolute worst, he's been like $1.25 or maybe $1.22, but he's been constantly over $1.
I'd be very happy to bet him at $1.10. Like,
yeah, he is, especially with no McGovern too. Like, what the fuck? Like,
10 kickouts.
Yeah, it is insane. There's going to be a week where he gets like 35 or something. So
yeah, it's actually bonkers how many. Now this week, I like him against Saints, and I love McGovern on return to hit 15.
Oh, McGovern back
off a concussion.
Yeah. Oh, true. It was only a concussion. Yeah. Well, if McGovern's back, I'm only bullish on Marrick for 20. I wouldn't do anything too crazy.
No, I wouldn't. I'd never go Marrick for 25. Ever.
I have been keen to go him on the past. I do love a good halfbacker, like a distributor, strong halfbacker, similar to Noble. Ryan Marrick is like John Noble but taller. So
yeah, I still like. He's not desperate to get cheap handballs though. I think he's just.
I think 20 is just a nice. Let's not.
No, while it's there, we're going to keep taking it, and I love McGovern too. Even though to our friend in the chat that doesn't like the McGoverns, we're going back to Jeremy. So.
Yeah, I do like it, and I know he's injury prone and stuff, but that's the risk reward. We'll see what he's worth. If he's like $1.10, no, we'll find better options. But if he's a good price. Harley Reid, you called that. He bounced back, which was great. He played a bit more mid. Yeah, and a bit of a stage there. So if he's playing in the forward line and majority in the forward line in the first quarter, like he has when he missed, it's fucking hard for him to bounce back. So it was good for him to start out great early.
Yeah, it's weird. You can't get I feel like they're throwing. This is the worst thing they can do for him. But one week he's playing full centre bounce midfielder. Next week he's in the halfback line. Next week
did you see? Yeah, he was taking kickouts one game.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, let the kid find a position and just let him play in that position. It's like,
yeah, they got him and Oscar Allen playing in the back line. Like, all right, let's just fucking...
let's just fuck them off already, all right? So,
they're both going to leave, So, Jacob Hopperall's keen for 25, so he just got 24. We got him for a very cheap price. I like Jacob Hopper for next week. I don't care who's playing. He has been good for 25, so... someone to consider. And Jamie Cripps, I was happy. That was the first time this year we've backed him for a goal, and it was against Richmond. Shortest odds at $1.28, but we got him. So happy that we backed Cripps. Just unlucky about the whole Dow thing.
One guy we might need to have a look at is we'll see what if there's any value. Liam Ryan thrown into the mids, played a lot of midfield on the weekend. Got 17. Feel like he'd be
He's crossed my radar before, but there are definitely times where
too much of a risk with the forward line risk.
With a Cozzy Pickett thing where, I've been scarred where they'll just get 1 or 2 posies a quarter because they've just gone, all right, you're forward this whole quarter or half.
That definitely can factor. Brady, we spoke about this guy a couple of weeks ago, Brady Hoff. He's been playing a lot of fucking midfield.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't get a lot of the ball. We'd have to look at his consistency in that time, but he's just getting to 15, so probably still stay away.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not bad. It's nice to pick up these players because West Coast don't have that many to offer. I think I've bet on Baker and Marrick every West Coast game. And then after that, I don't know who to pick. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be maybe Jack Graham for 15.
Yeah, or maybe Reed, but I haven't been that confident in Reed. Like, I know he hit, but yeah,
Gov.
Ryan Marrick and Gov is still, I'm a kind of but Ryan Marrick and Baker are just my go-tos.
Yeah, nice.
Also, I just want to say Nank hit. I was keen for him to bounce back. So yeah, I was bullish on Nank for 15 or Hopper for 25. Hopper just missed by one, but Nank also hit. That was another bet I suggested. Second last game, which was the Geelong Giants game. Holy fuck, I got such great odds for this because I bet on like the Thursday. This was great, and Ware just went completely missing. Well, he was, again, I don't know if you guys watched this as much as me. He was everywhere around the footy, but just in the vicinity for like the whole game. He won, which was... So I was going to give him an out. I was like, maybe because he's wing and running up the ground a lot and the GMHBA is real skinny.
GMHBA is terrible for wingmen.
It is, but then I was just like, well, Ollie Dempsey just
Dempsey's not a wingman per se though.
He's wing.
He starts wing, but then he goes deep. He hunts.
He does play a bit like forward, and he will go rest forward. But maybe also he plays that ground a lot, knows how to play it better. He knows the ground.
I think Ware gets it. I give him a pass. Just
even though we missed by a lot, I was like, I think I can still give him a pass, albeit it sucked because every other leg hit in this great value multi. Yeah, I still think I give Ware a pass.
I think we were lucky with the Stringer injury. He was getting definitely in sub-factor territory, I think, at that point.
He was, yeah. He was having a stinker. But again, if you watch the game, you'll see he's around the stoppages a lot. He's on Sean Manor at the stoppages. He's there. He's getting the ball in the back line. He's getting it in the forward line. Ware is great. So don't let that 9 discourage you. I think if I was to bet him next week, it would be then another certainty or something, because we'll probably get him for like $1.50. But again, we'll reassess the options when the time comes. The players that hit, all fantastic. Bailey Smith had me worried early. So he did not have a CBA in probably like the first half of the first quarter. And Jeremy Cameron was there. I'm like, what are you doing, Chris Scott?
I think that was tactics by Chris Scott. I feel like he thought he knew something better and then realised it didn't work. Bailey went in there, and Bailey clearly wasn't clearly best on ground, but he'll probably get a vote, and then Hogan's obviously the best on ground.
Yeah.
Bailey was definitely Geelong's best player.
Hogan, who kicks fucking 1 goal last week when we bet on him, comes out and he could have easily kicked probably 9 or 10. But yeah, so for him to get 7, huge. So... One, we're glad, Bailey Smith went to the middle, played great. Dempsey for a goal, he was $1.50. He's kicked 2 in his last month and a half. And as we were just debating, he plays wing, and then he will have opportunities where he starts the centre bounces in the forward line. So, and he's a great mark, and he's just great at the ground level. Yeah, I really like Ollie Dempsey for a goal there. So glad we got him.
Yeah, that was all good. Holmes responded. I don't know if we'll bet him.
I thought he would play more in the back line without Lawson Humphries and Stewart. But yeah, he played pretty much all mid that game.
Yeah, loved it. He's back at home in Geelong. Maybe he's a bit of more value when he's back at home. Bailey, though, all I'd say is I feel like Bailey's a lock until someone tags him. No one's willing to
holy
tag him.
Fuck. I'm glad we have jumped on Bailey because we did miss him for maybe the first month, and all right, no, this is legit. And so we've been backing him, which has been fantastic. Connor Idle.
Like we spoke with Bergman, surely you got to roll the dice on that tag again. You got to try it again.
Yeah, well, that tag worked amazingly. I know Port lost, but if you can nullify Dawson, one of the most damaging players, captain to 14 posies, you got to do that tag again.
Yeah,
it'd be stupid not to.
He's definitely got the running capacity. Maybe not as good as Bailey, but he's a wingman. He can run. He's a back, and he's strong enough to go Bailey. So,
he's going to wind him up and flip him off and throw the footy at him. Yeah.
I think that's a fucking good one. Dangerfield missed bad, looked bad.
But so Dangerfield I highlighted, but I didn't. I think I include. I can't remember. No, but I didn't include in this bet. I was very he's a little bit of a roller coaster. 30 posies, can miss. I need him to play a bit more mid, so 12 posies and a goal. Yeah. I
think the days of the Dangerfield CBA, didn't touch it, had one CBA the whole game. And the days of the midfielder, the Dangerfield midfielder is gone, I think.
Yeah. So. 2 players to mention from the back line. Zach Guthrie, he's had 2 misses in his last month, and he's at $1.10. I just wouldn't bet on him at all now. I'm very bullish on Lawson Humphries. We'll see what happens when he comes back. Yeah, I know he missed from the concussion, didn't get much, but you just got to yeah, take that in consideration. Zach Guthrie, I mean, I'd bet if he was like $1.30, but we'll see. An old Connor Hide and Seek. So I love that nickname, Seek. But yeah, he was on like he had no touches very early and then came back strong. He has probably been one of the best bets all year.
He's a lock.
Yeah,
most weeks.
For the $1.20 bracket in 15, he's been fantastic. Oh, and we got Himmelberg. So Himmelberg dropped to the 15 posi bracket, and he got 21 posies. So, like, holy shit. So, we're very happy with Himmelberg there. If we can get him for 15 again, just jump in the bet slip.
Yeah.
No, otherwise, this was a great game. Down to the wire. Absolutely loved it. Just sucks how the bet just went down the toilet. So, we got a bonus bet from this one, and couldn't flip it to the next game because it had already started. So...
Stay tuned for Thursday night.
Yeah, and I actually got a bonus bet for this one too. And because Berry was subbed off and then Daniel missed. So I've got bonus bets out my ass ready for Thursday night. But yeah, Berry, you obviously got concussed for anyone who didn't miss the game or didn't watch the game and were like, why he got two. And it wasn't even his fault. Luke McDonald came out of nowhere and just whacked him in the side of the head. And like, what are you doing, you fool? And then Luke McDonald... Like, I'm almost positive because I watched that game. He didn't get the HIA test because he came back onto the field. Berry went down to the rooms, then subbed off. Luke McDonald's back on the field and plays the whole game. I'm like, so he fucking takes out Berry and gets to play the rest. Oh, that was frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that vent out. I've just got one more vent before I throw it to you. Caleb Daniel, I thought was an absolute just...
No, he got smacked.
What?
Yeah, he got his nose crushed.
Oh, no, I saw that too, but he still had enough game time.
It's fucking going to hurt.
No, but he still had 76 game time, so which is there, but I just thought, like, he would have been an absolute certainty, because, like, you've got Wardlaw who's playing 73% game time, getting 19, albeit, yes, he's injured, but Caleb Daniel got also overtaken.
Sheasel's just killing him.
I was about to say, he got overtaken for the kickouts. Not to say kickouts are everything, but Sheasel back there is just really hampering Caleb Daniel. And what's Caleb Daniel in the team for? It's not his intercept marks. It's not his lockdown role. It's for his kicks. And if he's not there kicking, what's Caleb Daniel doing?
And I think they're like, feel like if Caleb Daniel takes a mark, he's going to opt to hand it off to Sheasel nowadays because Sheasel's just their better kick.
Well, if I was Caleb Daniel, I would no way hand it to Sheasel because you have to hit these. No, like you have to hit these kicks because
that's what his job is. But
you are not getting a game if you are handballing it to Sheasel. You have to like.
I don't like betting him.
I'm more betting on him not for like.
You're going to bet until it hits.
No. But he's only missed one. If he's in the 20 posi bracket, I'll take it. But I'm like, this is Caleb Daniels.
In the 20. We'll get better value in the 20.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I feel rude saying it, but like, you can't have Caleb Daniel in the back line if he's not the one taking the kicks.
Yeah, well, I don't know why'd you get him.
Yeah.
I can't believe obviously the Sheasel's doing a good job. They played pretty well, so I still think they'll keep Sheasel where he is.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but.
And I saw Fisher was named, but then not named in the squad or when Sunday teams were announced.
Yeah.
So
I think they don't need Fisher.
Yeah. Right. But it's just very surprising. So yeah, that's the Caleb Daniel rant. I still think he will be okay for it because that's his job. If he misses again, then I feel like he's just not going to be in the side at that point. So
yeah.
Going on to the hits, I'm very glad we got Simpkin in the 15 posi bracket. I think we got him for it was maybe only $1.15 or something. It wasn't great, but the others we got Darcy Wilmot, $1.20. Zorko for in the 20 posi bracket, he got 39 posies. He was $1.20. Josh Dunkley was $1.20. I'm pretty sure game day before the bounce, Zorko was out to $1.30. What the hell? So Jono and I said in the video, this was probably the last week to get Zorko before Coleman and Duday or whatever the heck comes back.
That's coming.
Yeah.
So
just
39 fucking big boy.
Oh god. So my worry about Zorko was he was directing too much traffic and not making the space himself. Zorko always used to just make room and just want the footy, demand the footy no matter what. Which he was doing everything in this game.
That came back.
Yeah, that came back. Not to say he was like lazy, but he would just be like, oh, kick over there, kick over here. But
I think there's a big chance that both Coleman and Duday are back this week, so I don't think we can bet him. We have to wait and see. We have to see what happens.
Like, so. I'm going to, just as a Lions fan, if he's in the 20 posi bracket for a good price, I'm still betting on him because Coleman is not going to come. Like, yes, he's had good games.
Safety this week, mate.
Safety. Yeah, we'll see. I highly doubt your All-Australian half-backer is just going to get tossed into the half-forward line.
Not tossed, but he's just going to share.
I'm
going to toss him. He'll stay in the half-back line.
If his odds go to like $1, don't tempt me, so we'll see.
He did have 7 kick-ins on the weekend, though. So.
Big. Yeah, but to be fair, how much do you think North were actually going to pepper the scoreboard against Brisbane? I wouldn't think got that much, but
I think Fletcher, we already started to see if he was moved out to the wing this week. I think Fletcher's tossed. He's not that bad.
Well, Fletcher got 25 posies, but
I know he played really well, but I feel like he's not getting any of those freebies in the back line anymore.
No, and Fletcher is not, to me, in the 20 posi bracket yet. To me, he was only just cracking the 15 posi bracket, so I'm not keen.
If he's not got that yet, especially with these guys coming back for them, I feel like it's not a swing the axe moment for Fagan, but you guys should have done better than against North Melbourne. Maybe I don't think there was a I feel like, I don't know, like I was kind of more watching it from like, well, North are playing good. Like, I feel very like privileged. Like, oh wow, like so be it. We got a draw. Like, I don't know. I wasn't that sort of pissed off, but it was good to see North play well. Maybe because I had a lot of North plays in the bet, especially my other one too. Sheasel for 25 hit, Luke Parker for 20, Cherry for 15, Wardlaw got over 15. Oh, Dylan Stevens, the guy who came from Sydney. He's looking really good in North colours, so I might keep an eye out for him for 15. Yeah, he looked good too. I think probably a big chance that one of Coleman or Duday starts sub first, potentially to ease him into the game a bit. Darcy Gardner probably gets tossed back to the twos.
Maybe at this rate, especially when they got Logan Morris there. And also Colby McKercher, who I've been bullish on this year, he got another miss. He didn't really touch it much after halftime and rotating in the half forward. I don't know. I might just give Colby McKercher a bit of a spell at the moment.
Yeah. All right.
No, anyone else you want to touch on? Or
I think that's summed up. A bit of a rough week, but I feel like we'll bounce back with a bit of a safer week this week. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Jono and I will come back for the betting portion of the video, and hopefully we remember the safer week. We'll chat to you guys later on in the week.
See ya.
Hello guys, and welcome to our round 10 betting tips. We're here with Jono for this one. We're going to go through them. We're going to hopefully keep it somewhat contained. We're going to flip it like we did last week, where we spend more time on this, but we yapped on for an hour plus in the review thing.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you can't help it. We just talk footy all day, every day. So without further ado, let's go into Collingwood Adelaide, which is the first game of the Saturday. Wait, let me start this timer. How do I start it? Start. Okay, so the ones that I've picked for this one are Ben Keys for a goal, Jordan Dawson, Rory Laird for 20, and then Josh Dacos for 25. So I'll just quickly talk on these picks. Jordan Dawson, Rory Laird we had last week, and I was very bullish on them, and I thought they were a great price. Just because they've both missed the 1 week, not much has changed, and if anything, it means I want to back them now, coming off their miss. And it's the same with Josh Dacos. I bet on Josh Dacos when he had a miss 4 weeks ago, and then he hit 3 times in a row, all over 30. It's happened again. I don't want to miss Josh Dacos' rebound. And same with Laird and Dawson.
I think that's probably fair enough. With the 50, are we jumping into the 15s?
Yeah. So I was just chatting about my bet. You start off the 15s.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Paddy Lipinski is sitting there.
At $1.22, nice. Trust me, he was in my bet. He was in and out, but I'm like, the misses trump his 10 out of 10 for me. That's all.
The misses trump his 10.
Dawson, Laird.
Sorry, that's why I lost my train of thought before. I'm like, why were you sitting there with Paddy Lipinski?
That's literally the only thing. And then to me, Ben Keys, $1.40, 9 out of 10 trumps Lipinski. And I'm trying not to add too many legs. And I included Dawson, Laird, Dacos all in my own bets last week, and I just have a big thing. If I bet on them and they miss, I feel like I have to jump on them the week after, so that trumps that. But otherwise, you're right. Lipinski, this is the best value he's been all year.
Yeah, the other one, I know we swore off him the other day in the review. Ned Long for 15.
I know. And so, Jono, I have been complaining so much because I really like Ned Long. Yes, all the Collingwood players kind of had a down game against Freo last week. Pretty much everyone missed except Jack Crisp. But Ned Long is having very, very like short game time. It's always like 70% or less. And it's very hard to back him for 20 when he's only playing like less than 3/4. But yeah, if he's going to creep into the 15 posi bracket, I really like that.
Yeah, I think so. And I think back at the G, he should big body, get him in there. He's not going to get. That's the thing. I don't think we're going to see any more increase in game time. So that's always going to be the risk.
Oh yeah, and so yeah, John and I were very bullish because Pendlebury was out. We were confident that one of the old boys, and it was Sidebottom, was going to get tax subbed. Degoe was out. If any game for him to hit, it was going to be that game. He didn't, so I'm off that ship now. Well, at least for 20 plus for Ned Long.
Exactly.
Darcy Cameron, I've highlighted. He's been very consistent. Like he's going up against Riley O'Brien, kind of, not to be sort of harsh, but one of your bottom sort of tier ruckman and stuff. So
the only factor is that it's still the Mason Cox hanging around.
Yeah, I think Darcy is still hit though with Mason Cox hanging around because Darcy Cameron thankfully is a really good help in the back line there with his intercept marks.
One thing I'd have to say though, if I had to guess, is like obviously Adelaide have got the three-headed monster in their forward line. They've got Tilthorpe, they've got Tex, they've got Fogarty sitting down there. Darcy Moore's out. Billy Frampton's the only guy above 190 centimeters down there, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe Howe might be, but
you expect Darcy Cameron to be a lockdown defender?
Not a lockdown, but I think it's literally going to be tap the ball down, fucking run back. And then Mason Cox will come up the ground. They're playing Mycheck. They're playing Tim Membry. They don't really need Cox down there that much. I feel like Cox will take, after the centre bounces, I feel like Cameron's just going to sit as a loose man in defence.
The only reason I don't think you're crazy is because Collingwood this whole year have played with that mentality where it's like, we can go hard and fast because if we fuck it up, we have Darcy Cameron who's sitting in the back line. So he's done this before. Usually anytime there's two ruckmen, one is resting forward. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does play the defense.
I can see that's what, but I feel like he'll get his marks. I just worry about the whole 15. I feel like Mason Cox will come back and take over. Yeah. I feel like they'll sacrifice the centre bouncers a bit more for Cameron to provide them with that because they're going to be so small down there.
Yeah, and just this whole conversation kind of just proves maybe why we haven't included him in this bet, just because there's a bit of uncertainty. And for $1.30, nah, he's probably like $1.40 plus combo if we're this uncertain. Ben Keys, I really like. He missed 2 out of his last 3, and funnily enough, I'm pretty sure those 2 misses are the games we bet on him for 15 posies. So we got him on the bounce back, but I actually like Ben Keys for a goal. I'm pretty sure in that 0, he actually kicked it behind as well, so he's always having scoring shots. And
I like him for the goal a lot more than the touches, purely because the tag factor might come into it this week.
Yes, sitting on someone or maybe Josh or
Nick. I don't. Neil Bullen or him. Surely he's going to have to go to one of these Dacos boys. So
yeah. Last one in the 15 that I like, Luke Nankervis, my boy. So the worrying thing was he got tax sub 2 weeks ago, and that score I did not include. Frankly, he was going to miss anyway. But if you get tax subbed, you are one of the bottom players in that.
Yeah, you're in the bottom 4.
Yeah, so that's something that was very worrying. But he hit last week, so I've highlighted him, but I just don't think I'm ready to jump back on. But he's someone I really, really am bullish on. So another time. In the 20 posi bracket, speaking of Paddy Lipinski being great value, someone is the exact same value in the 20 posi bracket, still side bottom. He's had his tax sub. He's not going to get subbed this game. I think he's going to hit, but I can't not go Dawson and Laird after their misses. Jono, side bottom's going to hit, don't you think?
Yeah, he's shown all year that he's can and he loves the MCG. I do like the idea of going. One thing I'll say, just in the contrast to the side bottom, Dawson loves to play fucking Collingwood. He fucking froths fucking play, and especially even at the MCG, he always fucking lights us up.
Especially after like a very, very quiet game for his standards. Dawson is not having 2 of those in a row.
I don't think I could honestly see Sidebottom. It's not going to be a hard tag or anything like that. But Sidebottom has been used as a defensive midfielder in the past last year. I could see them sending and I feel like it's not going to be a hard tag. But Sidebottom is in such great form
He is, and he's had his spell, so I think, yeah, this is the best value you're going to get for side bottom for 20. And just a little note on side bottom that I like that I don't think many other people pick up. Side bottom loves a little soccer kick forward. And that is just, instead of players fumbling to try and pick up the footy, just get a disposal, kick it forward. It's so good.
Yeah, he does love that.
Yeah.
The other one there, Rankin does light us up a bit. Now, it's a risky one with the 2 misses, but he does love to light us up, so...
Well, Rankin has had that 15 miss where he got tax subbed in the Essendon game, not because of bad form, just because they're resting him. He got a genuine 19 miss, missing by 1. I think that was against Freo.
Hard tag last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, all Adelaide just really shit the bed against Port. So yes, I know Adelaide won, but it was very similar to the Collingwood Freo game where Collingwood got no footy but won. So a lot of Adelaide players missed. So I like Rankin, but it just, I like Dawson and Laird better. Yeah, sorry, we're chatting for a bit longer for this one. Last one, the 25 Posse bracket, the 2 Dacos brothers. Obviously, Nick Dacos got a pretty decent tag from Corey Wagner, which I just did not see coming at all. And looked very injured. So the point is, I'm not that worried about him getting tagged from Adelaide because he hits 25 with regular tags, but it's the injury that's concerning me. So if he's having to play forward, rest forward, get massages on the bench, I don't like that at all. So we're just going to wait to see him pop off first.
Yeah, we spoke about this in the before the game, earlier today. Like, if he's healthy, I put him down for 30 because he desperately wants this fucking Brownlow. You can tell that he's not going to play too bad. He will go bananas if he's healthy, but I don't know. The injury is just a worrying thing. Yeah,
so. And Nick Dacos is, like you said, just very hungry, but it's just, I just need to see it first, and then otherwise I'm happy to jump on Nick Dacos.
If there is an injury, and like you said, if this is an injury and this game's put to bed early, either way, if Adelaide's are winning big or Collingwood's winning big, he's coming off. They're not risking.
He doesn't want to come off, but it'll just be the play. It'll just not his call. Josh Dacos, who had the stinker, I think it was against Adelaide like 4 weeks ago. No, not against Adelaide. It was at Adelaide Oval.
Brisbane.
But was that Brisbane?
Sorry, Sydney.
At Adelaide Oval. So as soon as he missed, I just watched him like absolutely rack up the footy. He's missed again. I don't want to stuff up that opportunity. So I really like Josh Dacos. He's getting so much the footy.
Also, like, sorry, I'm cutting you off, but Dan Houston and the other, Dan Houston and he's going to have to play a bit taller, I think, this week, just purely out of matchup necessity. So Josh should be free to get a lot more ball. Also, Adelaide's going to kick they're the high scoring team. That means the most points, as well as the most goals, will be in the most points as well. So more kicking opportunities.
Yeah, that's a good point. In the goal scorer, we've just I've highlighted Tex because he's coming off a miss. I mean, with the same logic, I could highlight Membry, but I'm just not keen on him for that price. Josh Riccelli, though, I think he's come back. Is this like his 3rd or 4th game now? 10 out of 10, looking great. But just for that extra value, I really like Ben Keys. Great runner, gut runner, plays like 90% game time. I just think he has every opportunity to kick a goal. So great value, green. I can't ignore it.
Yeah, I think Ben Keys is definitely the pick of the lot. The other one, we haven't listed it there because we don't like to go. There's only Hogan's probably the only guy we go in this. Thriller for 2, I don't hate, just purely matchup wise. He's going to have Billy Frampton probably. Most people can kick 2 goals than Billy Frampton.
Yeah, no, too easy. I might just. All right, with the art of pausing and resuming the recording, I've just quickly added in that player John was talking about. Riley Thilthorpe for 2, $1.62, 7 out of 10. I really like, and John and I had this conversation off air, but the only thing worrying about him for me was 7 of his 10 fingers are dislocated at the moment. They've all got tape on them. But yeah, kicked 3 last week.
Last week though.
Yeah, no, so I really like him. That was the only concern for me. But yeah, with the lack of Collingwood defenders at the moment, I think, that is definitely a good thing to touch on.
I think just the tall, I feel like he'll probably get Frampton. I think Howe will go to... Howe's probably going to have to go to Fogues or Tex, I guess. It's going to be interesting. I feel like Frampton will have to go to Thriller because he's so big. But yeah.
Yeah, no, good pickup. Anyone else you want to talk about?
Nah, I think that's good for that one.
No, easy. And moving on to our 4th game of the round, which is Port Adelaide versus Geelong at Adelaide Oval. We have... Whoops, I'm showing the wrong one. We have our bet for this one, which is Sean Manor for 15, Willem Drew for 15, Hornet for 20, and Connor Rosie for 25. So I really like all of them. Sean Manor is he's only had the one miss, obviously, but as soon as he's come back for Geelong, came back, I don't know, only maybe a month or so ago now, looking great, kicking goals, not having like CBAs, but he's around all the stoppages, great to see. Willem Drew's only had the one miss, but he might play a tagging role, nothing too intense, but he's there. Hornet has had the one miss, and Connor Rosie, I think, will be the actual real benefactor of the Kane Farrell absence. So yeah, really back that one. Anyone else you want to touch on for that before we move on to the 15?
Yeah, or Connor, like, I think we were looking for Connor, like, you got to start the clock, by the way.
Yes, I just realized it.
Yeah, Connor, like, last week we spoke about maybe, like, even in the game was on the line, they didn't want to put him in the midfield. He's a half backer.
Yeah, there was that one concern against the Doggies where they were getting pumped by like 80 points, and they just were like, fuck it, we'll put him in.
Yeah.
But if that happens,
they're set on him being a half backer.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, my thought, moving on to the 15 posse bracket, Ryan Burton, I really like. I think he will hit, but yeah, I'm just too bullish on Connor Rosie at the moment, so I can't include both. I don't like double dipping in the exact same area, so it's one or the other, and for me, it's Connor.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, anyone you want to talk on for the 15?
No, not really. Not someone we really need to consider for the betting wise, but interesting to see where Bergman goes in this game.
No, well, I think that's very betting relevant because I like Bergman if he's playing on the back line. Yes, I know he's had, one hit out of his last month, and that one hit, funnily enough, was his tagging role on Dawson, which, man, some things you just can't predict. But yeah, so Bergman is like pretty much just always played in the back line, is now tagging. So yeah, whether he's in that role again and he has the opportunity to get the ball,
I feel like he's a dead set giveaway to go to Max Holmes or Bailey. Like, he's a shoe-in to go to one of them too.
Yeah.
So good to see that we haven't bet on either of them too.
That is literally my thought process. When I was doing it, I was like, I just don't want to risk what happened to Dawson last week. So yeah.
We've seen Max Holmes get attention and it's really worked. We haven't seen Bailey get any attention yet, so it'll be interesting. So.
Yeah. In the 15 posse bracket, I spoke about Sean Manor and Willem Drew, but they are just great price for what they are at the moment. So it's very hard to ignore, especially when they're averaging more than, several posies and what we're asking them to. No one else really there. I mean, I like Tom Atkins. He's the defensive midfielder, but his role is really not to get the footy. He'll just, get it when it's there, but his job is to tackle and just, nullify.
And I don't think we know what we're getting out of Dangerfield yet. So
yeah, exactly. Like we definitely had our good share with him for this period, and then missed. Just too much of a roller coaster at the moment. He could sit full forward for the whole game. So
yeah, exactly. I think like we had our fun.
Yeah,
we'll take them. So.
Exactly. In the 20 posse bracket, there's not much there. So we spoke about Hornet. So I was very bullish for Hornet for a goal, but I think that ship has sailed. We got like one or two, but I think it's the 20 posse bracket now, especially with Connor Rosie just not in there.
Yep.
So I think Hornet in a bad game, he's getting 20. So in a good game, he's getting almost 30. So I just think that is absolutely fantastic. And what John and I spoke about before about Max Holmes getting tagged, you can see his two misses there. 19 and a 17. Which games were they? That was the Melbourne game where Tom Sparrow, funnily enough, what is with these taggers coming up out of nowhere?
I fucking don't know. And in teams when they've already got bona fide taggers,
like Clayton Oliver. No, we'll get into that. And then the other one was against Windhager, who is now not tagging anymore. Anyway, it's hard to call it. The point is, it's like that uncertainty is just what's deterring us from Max Holmes at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I've highlighted Brian Myers because he is $1.90. He is a coin flip odds for 8 out of 10. Came back, got 23.
I like that.
I very much like it. The only thing is
20.
For 20. So he's 8 out of 10. His misses are like 14. So it's either he's just hitting or he's not even close.
What's he? 15, sorry, I didn't even look at him for 15. Is
15,
he even better?
He's $1.18. I do like him.
If you want a little sprinkle there, he's worth a little sprinkle on top of your bet. He's probably guaranteed. Like that's a very
Yeah. I really like Brian Myers, but I'm trying not to be too greedy, and I like the other options a bit. I like Brian Myers there for 20. Adelaide Oval, I think he plays really well.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Interesting odds.
Yeah. Anyone?
He's only had one game back though, hasn't he?
And it was 23 posies. And
I know, but
yeah.
Okay.
Anyone you want to talk about before leading us into the 25s?
No, I think you've highlighted the fucking...
There's not much to pick from, is there?
Yeah, no, but you've highlighted the Brian Myers. Like, that's... Mitch Duncan, 2 games back, 2 hits, by the way.
Oh, that is actually a good pickup.
There's
Yeah.
two games this year. Jack Henry's back now, so that should fuck that off, I would say.
Oh, true. Actually,
Humphries is back.
What's Jack Henry? Like, I know he's not the role. What is he for 15? Oh, it's $1.67. Just because, no. Like, I know he got that 12 in the miss, but that 24 posse game just very interested me. But yeah, he's never been a high posse player.
Nah, I think Humphries as well.
Maybe it helps him. Humphries.
Yeah, it could. I think it's good that we haven't included. We haven't included him, yeah. But no, I think it's good that we haven't included him. But I think Duncan's, if Duncan's getting 20 next week, then all right, maybe we have a look at him. But,
yeah. Plus, Lawson Humphries coming off that concussion game where he got concussed against, was it Hawthorn for the Easter? Collingwood? Yeah. So, yeah, we're just going to just leave him for a bit. And Zach Guthrie is just not the player he was to start the year in the back end of last year. So.
No, he's really, I don't know I think he will be the one that benefits if I had to guess. I think he's had to play a lot taller and he's suffering there, but Jack Henry coming back, I think that's going to help him a lot.
Yeah, so. Actually, I think that is a good point. And back to the 25 posse bracket.
They picked themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So Connor Rozee, I've never been that bullish on for 25 because he's been way too inconsistent, but that's when he's a midfielder. Now he's half back. Just look at those scores, 28, 27, 27, 29. Like, they're just so consistent, and I think he's going to get a lot of the kickouts. I like him back there. And Butters now, his one miss this year's been 24. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah. Bailey Smith, you just had that slight concern that he might just cop some attention. He hasn't missed all year. I mean, so there's not much reason not to back him, especially when he's getting 35, 34. But, yeah, like, no hard reason for me.
No one's tried it, though.
Yeah.
So... And Port Love, like, they're happy to roll. Clearly showed us last week. They're happy to roll with 2 tags if it needs it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just the point is, Bergman just thrived in that tagging role. So I don't think Port just do that as a one-off. I just think Bailey gets a lot of the footy. Like, Dawson has always been like a low 20s posse player, whereas Smith has been high 25s. So, but that being said, I just don't want to risk it.
Yep.
Goal scorers, I really like Ollie Dempsey, and I actually have one. But so Dempsey, right? Just before I go on, Dempsey, we were getting for $1.50. We were getting for $1.80. $1.30, I like, but I'm just not that bullish on because we have picked him at a good price. Only had the one miss.
10, though.
9 out of 10. Look, I like him. It's just I've got him a couple times before that, so I just wanted to. Back someone else for this one. But the 2 goals we spoke about for Thilthorpe, we're now speaking about for Mitch Georgiades. So Mitch Georgiades never really was the guy, especially when like Todd Marshall was there, Charlie Dixon was there. Now, obviously with no Marshall and no Lukosius, he's been injured. Mitch Georgiades, like to start the year, has been fucking huge. He had that one stinker to start the year against Collingwood where like Port scored 40 points, did nothing. But if you just exclude that first game, he's had 1 miss since then, and he kicked like 3 behinds or 2 behinds in that miss. So he's having 3 scoring shots a game at minimum. So I really like Georgiades, and I'm talking myself into him where I wish I included him.
Yeah. Other one there, Willie Rioli. I wouldn't highlight him maybe, but if you're looking for a Port guy for 1 goal with some value, it's probably Willie. Interesting to see, does he respond big and come out firing, or is he whimper a bit? I don't know.
I thought you were about to say, does he respond to someone? Like, who does he respond to on the field?
He goes after Brad Close again. So
Anyway, no, that is a good point. Willie Rioli just to bob up for a goal or 2. Anyone else you want to touch on? Sorry, I keep yapping so much.
No, that's good. I think we've covered it. I think this bet's pretty clear, straightforward. There's nothing too risky. Like, well, there's always risk in every bet, but there's nothing too hard on this bet, I don't think.
Yeah, so. It's really nice to see them all up here together. So, we'll move on to the next one.
Nice.
All right, on to the 5th game of the round. Wait, is it 1, 2, 3, 4? No, the 4th. This is the GWS versus Freo game at NG Stadium, which is, the 2nd time this year. So, straight through to this bet. In the 15 posse bracket, we have Connor Iden, Harry Himmelberg, and Jacob Ware. And then Finn Callahan for 20. Jacob Ware had an absolute stinker last week against Geelong, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that a winger playing at GMHBA Stadium, a very narrow ground, he just had an awful game. Otherwise, he's been great for me all year. I really like him. So, look, if he has 1 stinker, so be it, but I think he can bounce back. Connor Iden, Harry Himmelberg, great in defence there. Great price for Harry Himmelberg, who I'm bullish on for 20. So happily take him for 15. Connor Iden's had like 1 miss in 25 games, and Finn Callahan should be safe as houses without Kelly. Do you want to go to the 15 or anyone you were talking about there?
Connor Iden, he's safe. He's the safest guy for 15 in football, I think, right now. Really like Connor Iden. Bolton, since he had the worst game of seeing an AFL footballer play, he was saying one game, which was a small sample place, but he responded. He fucking came back. So with the 28, I don't know how much of that we can read into. Like Fremantle dominated that midfield last week. I don't know if that's going to happen again every week.
And then they got pants the week before.
Yeah. So I don't know what to expect. It's at Giants Stadium. Giants returning home for the first time since opening round, I think it is. So they're sleeping in their own beds for the first time in a long time, which is nice. So,
all right. Sorry, I was just having a coughing fit, and I just was waving to Jono to stop recording.
He rudely interrupted my trying to record.
So he doesn't know.
I think we're talking about Bolts. It's hard to go back. Like, we'll probably need to see it for a couple more weeks before we're happy to return to Bolton. I think we went in last week and obviously hit for us big time. You probably could go back there again, and I'd feel pretty comfortable about going back there. It's like, and then we'll talk about him a bit more, Finn, in the 20 bracket. Actually, I don't think there's anyone else that really piques my interest really there in the in the 15s. I don't know about you, James.
No, well, so I like Wagner, but if look, I might just highlight, but I couldn't bet on.
Is the tag going to come back?
Well, that's where I was going with that. If he's playing a tagging role, no, because I don't know if you noticed when Dacos was off, on the bench getting the massage, that's where Wagner's posies just went up. So if Corey Wagner is playing in the half back line, I really like, but he did do a good job on Dacos. So maybe I'm not going to highlight because of that, but someone maybe to look at and where they play for this game.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of teams, like there's the Whitfield opportunity to tag there, and there's also the Finn Callahan opportunity to tag there. So
yeah, so when he did a good job, it's kind of similar to that Miles Bergman thing. Comes out of nowhere, but it worked well. So I can see him going back to that. Into the 20 posi bracket, Finn Callahan, we just spoke about. Jono had a really good term for him where he's like a really strong driving midfielder where he runs, takes bounces, and it's like not even just these little pussy runs, it's like straight up the guts. He is so strong.
He's not getting it and it's the quick handball off, try and get it back. It's, I'm going to run past 3 blokes and I'm going to kick it long. So,
which is not good for his posse. Get some 1-2s in your game.
I know, but geez, seeing him last week at Geelong, he just ran through those blokes. So.
Yeah, he looked fantastic. Jordan Clark, kind of just similar, as in he likes to run and carry, get some meters gained. I do like him, but just when you're thinking of defenders, and for $1.22, 7 out of 10, when you've got Iden and Himmelberg for pretty much the same price, I feel like a way safer. It's just hard to include Clark as well, and I've already got them. So yeah, that's the only value I can find from the 20. Did you see anyone else?
I missed one in the 15. Before. Luke Jackson. Fuck me.
Oh, true. Yep, you go.
Luke Jackson. Sean Darcy's out. He's pretty safe, I feel. Got Briggs. He's got Briggs this week. Been a lot of chat about Jackson leaving as well. I don't know. We probably don't know if it's going to affect him positively or negatively. I do like him for 15. We haven't included him here, but if you like Luka Jackson, I don't think you can go wrong chucking him in anyway.
Yeah, and he missed 2 weeks ago because they both played at the same time.
One full game that they've both played, it's clearly Jackson's worst game of the year. Every other game that Jackson's played this year, apart the 16, he did his hamstring, but every other game he has just destroyed it. So
Luke Jackson's really good. I do like that inclusion. There was only a couple from the 20, so moving on to the 25, Tom Green, just absolute beast. I'm pretty sure he's leading the league in disposals, but for $1.17, he could be that type of player that I almost include for 30, because now that I'm just looking at it, he's only had 2 games where he's missed 30. That's actually wild.
He's a nice little sprinkle though for at $1.17 on top.
Yeah.
He could get attention though. Usually he's the one that does get attention, so I don't know.
But you're kind of right. It might be Whitfield or even like a Lockie Ash who's in All-Australian form, because GWS, unlike most of the other teams, they get their from the back. Exactly. That's where they set it up from. So Tom Green, although he gets a lot of it, it's just not as damaging. So, yeah, I'm just actually thinking about that. 30 posies could be tempting. Anyway, I haven't included him for now. The last one there, Andrew Brayshaw. So he had that one stinker where all of Freo missed, so I don't want to hold him too accountable. But otherwise, Brayshaw is having an outstanding year. I'm surprised he's not second in the Brownlow at the moment, or even first. Just there's so much money on Dacos. But yeah, Brayshaw is having his best year, I reckon, at the moment.
Yeah.
In the goal scorers, no one I really like. Oh, actually, what the? I'm just really. Jesse Hogan is $1.19 for 2, just after that 7-goal game.
I know, it's not worth it.
Oh,
Not worth it.
Yeah.
So we got burned by, and Freo have guys that actually make sense to play on him.
Yeah.
So Geelong didn't. It was the perfect storm. Like they did. In fairness, we were scared off going him again, and like we didn't want to hit that twice in a row. We already got burned by him, but it was the perfect storm last week for Jesse. I think they've got big boys that can play on him this week at Freo. So
yeah, and look, yeah, as Jono was saying, I think I don't want to bet on. I'm more happy to bet on him after a miss, which I didn't, but I'm less inclined to bet on him after 7 goals, where his odds have just shrunk. So I'd much rather wait. Someone who I wanted to highlight is Patrick Voss, but the reason the reason I just didn't highlight him, or I'll highlight him, is because when Sean Darcy's out, he plays the backup ruck. Yeah, and
yeah, sorry, you go.
No, well, I was just saying you're probably leading down the same path where his forward time will drastically reduce because he'll be playing around the ground. He'll be gassed. So,
also they're coming up against the wall of GWS, like fucking Sam Taylor, and Buckley, and they fucking feast on fucking players like Voss.
Exactly, they'll be making them run rounds while they're switching the play from one side to the other. So, look,
sorry, you go.
No, I'm done. I'm just unhighlighting him, but yeah, not many goal scorers that I like in this game at all. None.
There is one that, for the risky bettors out there, it's Tom Green.
Oh yeah, what the heck? Yeah, he's 1.7 value, which is huge, by the way. Anything over 1 is good.
If you're looking to add value and maybe a little bit of a riskier bet, Tom Green for a goal is, it's not a bad one.
It's not, yeah. I mean, like if you include Tom Green and then just 2 safe as houses ones, but yeah,
we're playing that's not our that's not more. We probably won't dabble in that kind of markets, but like if for the people out there that like a bit of a riskier one, Tom Green. So
yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Anyone else you want to pick up from that one?
No, I think that's pretty good. I like this. I like this bet. No, is it my favorite bet of the week? Maybe not, but I think
this is leading to one of my favorites because I think everyone's safe as houses, and Jacob Ware, he's not having like 2 9 games in a row.
Yeah. One thing as well, Luke Ryan. What's Luke Ryan for 20? Actually, sorry.
For 20, he is $1.48. He's been very inconsistent.
Would not highlight him. Like, for those who watched the Freo game last week, there was a clear disdain by the crowd for when they held the play up the backman. And there was one play when Jordan Clark marked it on the wing and he stopped. He had the clear grass in front of him, could have ran inside, ran it forward and took the game on. Chose to stop, pull back, switch the play, switch it back again. The crowd had enough. And clearly everyone's like, why isn't, if Freo don't attack, then why is long? I feel like they're going to get told that they need to speed it up a bit. So
it's not the first.
Grind.
It's not the first time as well. I think Longmuir has said that, I can't remember the exact phrasing.
He had a go at him publicly before.
Yeah, and that was like a year ago. So I think they've kind of reverted back to their old ways because Luke Ryan was not hitting 20s, but his last month, he's definitely picked it up.
Yeah,
so
I feel like when their things aren't going their way, they revert back to their old style and it's hold possession and all that stuff, but it doesn't win. It's too slow.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that is a very great point. All right, let's move on to the last game of Saturday. All right, on to the last game of Saturday, the standalone Saturday one, 7:30, because all the other games are like afternoon. So this is what everyone's going to be watching Saturday night.
The blockbuster of the week, the game that you need to be home to watch is the Dogs versus Essendon. Here we go.
I'm very excited for this one. So, I mean, I just like watching the Dogs play. So, John, you want to take over? Who got this one?
The reason I'm taking over is for my boy Tim English, and more importantly, who he's playing against, old boy Goldstein, the man that's giving away free cash at the moment, everyone. If there's anyone, there's a lock of the week, it's Tim English to hit 15 this week. No, every single player this year that has played Todd Goldstein has hit 15 touches, so you know.
It's very funny because Jono brought this up for like Anzac Day for the Darcy Cameron. I'm like, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. But damn, he's had a really good point. Every ruckman has feasted against Goldie. And like, not to bash on Goldie. Goldie's actually doing a good job.
Goldie's doing his job. He's a ruckman that doesn't run around too much. He's doing his game, but...
The other ruckmen are getting posies and like fucking racking it up in Supercoach as well, like having good games.
And honestly, I think we've got a great bet here with the 15. I like Timmy for 20. In fairness, I wouldn't bet it, but I do like him for 20 purely because Timmy's a bit more mobile. He likes to get around. He'll take a couple of marks on Goldie around the ground, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. No,
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I really agree with that point. I think Tim English, just absolute lock. So don't be too deterred from the 7 out of 10.
My lock of the week for that one. Jason Johannesson, since coming back, I think the first game back was the 9. Was that a sub game?
Yep.
Or
just normal game.
Yeah, just getting into the swing of things. He's in the number 2 behind Bailey Dale of getting the ball. He's kind of Bramble has, in fairness, still hitting those 15s, but Jason Johannesson looks really good since coming back. And getting him at $1.36 is not bad.
Yeah.
Eddie Richards I'm pretty sure he's the number 1 rated player in the game right now.
Yeah, they had him on the fireball today. He is just absolutely smoking it at the moment.
He's strumming the ball at the moment. So $1.12 is a little bit of a like a cherry on top kind of thing. But Essendon don't tag. He might get the Durham like treatment, but I don't think it's going to stop him getting the ball. Getting to 20 as well, that's nothing for him. So Nick Martin, he gets the ball. He's a ball fiend. What was it? He's missed once in 2 years or a year and a half.
Yeah. Oh, he was something crazy. So that's 17 he got. But yeah, otherwise it could have been like almost 2 years. He's very similar.
And coming off a 38.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Essendon players hit against that Sydney game at Marvel. So I just think Essendon indoors, closed roof, they just pop off.
And Jai Caldwell took off where he started since before the injury. So
and that was kind of a quiet game by his standards. So I think if anything, he's just going to go on the up.
And both teams won't roll with the tagger. So we're pretty confident in that.
It's going to be just these two teams inside Marvel. That's
inside Marvel, and it's going to fucking zip.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it's going to be a high posse, up and down foot race. So
up and down. Maybe interesting if Essendon could put the scores on, but yeah, Dogs. It's going to hit Dogs back line, and it's just going to fucking go.
Yeah. So no, they're the players we like for that one. I really like all those ones. Everyone else from the 15 posse bracket, like there wasn't too much value. So Sanders, I really like. Actually, having a quick look now, Treloar is not back. No, it's Taylor Duray and Arthur Jones. So I still like Sanders, but for that price, I mean, I'd rather go.
I don't like it with the no CBAs though.
Yeah.
He's been, even with Treloar didn't play against Goldie. He's been reduced to a half forward role. So.
Yeah. No, Bailey Williams, though, I'd much prefer a sort of half-backer. He's getting a lot of the footy. But again, it's just, I don't know. I didn't want to get too many of these players in the orange value. So that's why I've gone Ed Richards. Then as soon as we get out of that, we've gone English, who I just, really like. And Jono's been on the money with the Ruckman versus Goldie. Harms, surprisingly, he's had a big start to this year, right? But he just missed in the game against Goldie. Started out pretty slow, came back, but otherwise he's been getting in the 20 posse bracket. So for him to just miss in Goldie in the hot, muggy conditions in Darwin, I do like him back in Melbourne. And Jono touched on Johannesson, who is, arguably our second favourite behind Bailey Dale for that running carry off halfback.
The other one, we haven't included him, but Bramble.
Oh, actually. I don't have any reason not to highlight him. Sorry, you're right.
That'd be the only other one. I think we were a bit worried because we watched that whole entire Port Adelaide game and we were a bit concerned, but I think he's still pretty solid. It's just that JJ is just so much better. Yeah,
and look, I've watched plenty of Doggies games, and Bramble is just... He's good, but he's not the player who's hungry for the footy when you've got Johannesson and Dale. He's just more, oh shit, all right, the ball's here, or maybe I don't know. He just falls on his lap. In the 20 posse bracket, so we've chucked Ed Richards in, who I'm just loving, as Jono said, one of the best players going in footy at the moment. And following him, Nick Martin Caldwell, who we've touched on. Kennedy had his first miss, did play a bit of forward. So I think, he kicked 2 goals or something last week. That was his first miss in Doggies colours, so I like. And Durham, we hit the week before. So we got him for a bounce back. Any other time I would include him, but I'm already happy with Caldwell and Martin. don't need to risk it with Durham. And the two in the back line, so Roberts and Redmond, I was very bullish on them because no Jordan Ridley. So Redmond's posies go up. Same with Roberts. Roberts, surprisingly, 7 out of 10, and his misses have been 19, 19, 17. So trust me, if there wasn't other value here for players I'm a bit more confident on, Archie Roberts would be the next one lining up in my bet.
Yeah, I think that's all pretty fair. I actually wouldn't highlight Dylan Shield. I'm scared now.
Yeah, so yeah, I haven't included him. His odds are very good, but yeah, that sub risk. If he's not sub, I think he's good for 20. Like, I know all the inclusions, but I can't just sort of leave him there.
If you really want Dylan Shield, just wait to place your bet before the game.
Yep.
So, and do it quickly before they change the odds on you.
Oh, it shits me off. I always get like 1 or 2 bets a week that are laid out or a sub or something. So yeah, I'm not betting on Shield.
Yeah, I think just, if you really like Shield, just wait till the teams come out.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, cool. 25 posi bracket. We had Zach Merritt, who got the James Jordan tag, played a bit up forward. I think kicked 2 goals. Had a good game. A lot of people backed him last week, and he just missed by 1 posi for the conservative 20. I think with no tag, as Jono said, for this game, I think Zach Merritt
free to roam.
Yep, and he gets back to his 25 or low 30 posi games that he's been doing all year.
Yep, love that. Liberatore as well. Bond spending a bit more time forward. He's looked pretty good. I can't remember the 19 actually. Was that the Port Adelaide game? Was it?
I think it was. Yeah, and he got like no touches for some reason.
They destroyed them though. So yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I'm thinking Darwin too. Why am I thinking Darwin? That was last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember he was like one off. For like 10 minutes.
I feel like if either of those two, you can't go wrong. Merritt is definitely the more juicy one there. For sure. So.
No, I definitely like that. For goal scorers, there's a couple. Just ignore all the ones with all the asterisks, or not the hashtags, because I just don't track these players' stats. So no one really I like. Lockie McNeil, I think, has kicked a goal in every game this year for Doggies. So I mean,
he gets a lot of shots. He gets at least 2 shots a game, is what I find too.
Yeah. So he's probably the only one I really like there. But I mean, like, I'm not betting on Langford or Buku Kamas or Kennedy. Yeah, just none of it. None of it.
Buku has. I would have to check the stats on that one. I think Buku, since going forward though, kicked a goal every game.
Yeah, I know, but for $1.33, he's one of those players where if something changes, you know how like even just Carlton had injuries last week, Adam Cherry goes in the back line. One thing goes wrong, he's not in the forward line.
It's also one thing I say, it's hard to Essendon. I know they didn't do it against Adelaide and a couple other teams, but they still actually are a hard team to score against. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Anyone else you want to highlight for this game in general?
No, I like that. I think this is my favourite bet of the week.
Yeah, I think this one's my favourite too. Bring on Saturday night, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Welcome to 2 o'clock game of the week, guys.
This is the Sunday fucking graveyard. First one to start the thing, Richmond North. So these type of games only exist for punters, like, or the diehard fans.
Coaches.
Yeah. So I don't think your general footy fans watching this, just 16th versus 17th. But speaking of, haven't done a proper bet for this one because, man, it's hard to find value. Not all the players are listed. And what I've bet on, I'm not that confident at the moment. Like, we'll see later towards the game, so I'll do a post on YouTube. But for the meantime, George Wardlaw for 15, Caleb Daniel, Luke Parker for 20, and then Hopper for 25. So anyone you want to talk about, or you want me to yap on for the bet?
No, we'll go straight into the 15s, I think.
Yeah, then we'll bring them up as we go. So, Thompson Dow, fuck me. So already we're running into our first problem, right? Thompson Dow got tax sub. He got what the hell? Thompson Dow.
And we don't bet on tax subs a week after that.
Yeah, so I haven't highlighted him. I mean,
unless you're still side bottom.
Yeah, unless you're still or unless you're like $1.30 plus or something. He's $1.11 against North. Like, look, yeah, he'll probably hit. I think the tax sub was like a slap on the wrist, but like Richmond were like in the position to lose that game. So I don't know why they're taking Thompson Dow. Anyway, that baffled me. That blows my mind. So anyway, I'm not betting on him this week. I need to just see what happens. Response from Dow.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jaden Short, we do have highlighted. We probably can remove that now, and I don't think we're going to see Jaden Short for a while with the news about it. Sounds like a serious knee injury now, so I think so I don't think we're going to see Jaden Short for a while. So we can, take him off your bet list for a while, guys.
Yeah, actually, that's good pickup. It's another reason why I don't like sort of betting on the Sunday games too far out because just don't know. The next one we have highlighted. Oh, actually, I do like Dylan. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Dylan Stevens had a bit of a coming of age game in a way. Well,
Yeah.
last couple of weeks he's looked really good. So.
Yeah, and I know he's come from Sydney and he's looked good, but when I was watching that Brisbane Lions North game, I just couldn't take my eyes off him. It was so good getting a bunch of the footy.
Just so good looking, mate.
But for $1.18, I just can't.
No, he's not a prime mover that we're like He's not a guy you're going to sprinkle on top of your bet.
No, but George Wardlaw coming in, I think for his third game now, he is looking like North's best midfielder.
He's the kid in the engine room keeping that shit going. So
yep, really like Georgie Wardlaw. Cherry and Trainer, I do like Cherry for his ruck, and he's going up against Matty Flynn, who he's going up against Luke Nankervis. I forget his first name, Toby.
Tobe.
I was thinking of Luke from Adelaide. Anyway, Tristan Cherry, I really like. Toby Nankervis is kind of like your Wits, though. He's just like a strong, battered ruckman.
Cherry's he's definitely playing the best footy he's played. The last 2 weeks he's played the best footy he's played all year. That's for sure. So
yeah. So I like him, but I don't know.
I agree. It's not like he's out there against Goldie, but when's the North Essendon game? No, I think I agree with that. If there's safer options out there with better value.
Yeah, Luke Trainer though, he's only missed once to start his career. I really like Luke Trainer. He's someone I might include towards the actual game day. He's missed once, a proper game, and then he's been subbed. So otherwise, he has looked fantastic. I really like Luke Trainer in the back line there for Richmond.
Yep.
Colby McKercher, I'm just avoiding at the moment.
We don't know where he's going to fucking play, and they're not using him right. So.
Yep. He was great off halfback a year ago, 20 plus posies, almost 25 posie bracket. He's dropped down to 15 posie. Now he's like not even in the 15 posie. He is suffering.
He's just shooing to go back to Tassie, I reckon, if they keep this shit up.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I don't know if it's Alistair Clarkson just doesn't like him, or I don't know, something's going on there.
I love Caleb Daniel, right? But you had the younger and better version of Caleb Daniel at your club already, and you chose to go pay a 30-year-old who can only play that role. So,
and speaking of Caleb Daniel, I've included.
And don't get me wrong, we love Caleb Daniel.
For the 20s at the moment, I can't. Well, we can't really see Caleb Daniel for
25.
No. For 25 is a bit of a stretch, and Caleb Daniel, I'm still bullish on because his only role in this team is to be a good elite kick and distributor. Yes, Sheasel has gone back there though, but I know, and Caleb Daniel's coming off a miss, but if he doesn't hit this week, then I am off him.
If he can't hit 20s against Richmond, I'm very fucking concerned then.
Yeah,
so.
This is kind of like, this game will almost determine whether I keep betting on Daniel or I'm off. Yeah.
No changes for Sydney too. So they're sticking with what they've got the exact same team.
For North or Richmond?
Sorry, no changes for North. I don't know why I said
yeah.
Sydney. No changes for North. So let's hope that. I feel like against Richmond, he should be running around picking off easy ball.
Yep,
so
I think so too. And I've highlighted Luke Parker. I think he is an
really good.
Absolute shoe-in. The only concern I have, and we saw it last week for Steel Side Bottom, I think he could be subbed. He's listed on the extended bench, so he could even just be flat out rested.
You reckon? Is he? You reckon he's? I feel like this is a chance for them to get a win. So.
That could be. I'm just, the only thing that's concerning for me, how he's listed on the bench.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like he could be subbed out too if they win it. I can see, don't get me wrong, I think Richmond can win this game, but also see North just putting this away early too. So.
I know North played well against Brisbane last week, but Brisbane had an absolute stinker. So I don't know if that's to say anything good about North, or that's just where Brisbane are at. So if there's nothing around Luke Parker, no worry signs or anything, I am all chips in him for this game.
Yeah. Yep.
Hasn't missed playing for North Melbourne. Tom Power, I think that ship has sailed while George
once
Wardlaw's
Georgie's
back.
in the team. Well, we'll look at him again when Georgie gets hurt again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look at that.
Jai Simpkins also one that I'm like, I don't like watching you when you're in our bets.
I don't know how to describe it too. When I'm betting on him, I'm like, he's just not hungry
for the captain of the team. I expect you to be demanding that fucking ball. I just don't see it.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it as well, but I don't like him when he's in my bet. But if he gets value for 15 again, yeah, sure, but 20 for Powell and Simpkin, that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, I think so. I think we just leave that. But Tom Powell, don't get me wrong, once we see that injury to Georgie Wardlaw, we'll be back on the train.
I've just highlighted Vlosten there because he has gone a month hitting 20s and he got an 18, and I feel like just look, there's value. There's definitely value there. For Nick Floston, especially with no Jaden Short too, he's going to take the lion's share of kickouts.
Yep.
So like that for the 25, Harry Sheasel. What more can you say? He is like a beast. 10 out of 10. $1.20 for 25 plus. Really, really like him. So whether he's playing in the mid, half back, or look, fuck, when he had that weird experiment playing at the forward line, he's still getting 25 posies. So yeah. I like wherever he is on the ground.
Jordan Hopper, do you want to explain that one?
Oh yeah, so Jacob Hopper.
Jordan Hopper. Jacob Hopper. Yeah.
So I think since he started, he was in my 20 posie bracket all last year. Really, really like him. Since starting this year, I think he's had, is it the 4 misses, but they've been 22, 24, 23, 24. So he's very close. And then he's had games where he's gone in the 30 posie bracket. To me, I'm liking him a bit more than Tim Taranto at the moment. Like, I'm really liking Jacob Hopper. So the thing is, if I'm betting on him, I know he's getting 20 posies. It's just, does he have that little extra oomph to get over the line? So he's like he's the good value I've included for this bet, on top of Luke Parker already. But yeah, I like Hopper.
Yeah, I like it.
Goal scorer, fuck me.
Big fat nothing.
It's a bit. I mean, look, again, there's a couple like, yeah, sure, you could go Jack Darling, or there's what's Cripps? No, this is not. I keep thinking this is West Coast for some reason. Seth Campbell, he's doing all right. I don't know. It's just I don't like.
It's no, because what's our rule? $1.20. We're not going below $1.20 for a goal kicker. It's not enough.
No, I don't like goal scorers for this at all. So
stay away, guys. Save your money on that one.
Yeah. Anyone else you want to pick up? Oh.
No, I still like I still think it's a good bet. Sheasel, I think if I was going to chuck anyone in, it would be the Sheasel for 25, but that'd be about it. So yeah.
No, I agree. If we have any changes, we're going to post them in the post section, or I'll comment on the YouTube channel. Either way, you'll hear from me if this bet gets updated.
Yeah.
Easy. All right, let's move on. All right, second last game of the round. We have Brisbane versus Melbourne. Same deal. Haven't done the bet yet. We'll update you on the post section if anything changes. But for the meantime, there's actually some pretty good value here. So we've got Darcy Wilmot at $1.22. You know, every time he's over $1.20, he's jumping in my bet no matter what. Yes, Kitty Coleman is back.
We don't care.
Yeah, oh no, Darcy Wilmot, just hop in the bet. Like at best, like I think Kitty Coleman's going to be a sub, or they're going to look after him. There's no way he's playing the whole game after missing a year and a half. So ignore that. Darcy Wilmot, get in. $1.22, absolutely loved. Tom McDonald, we got him last week, and far out, he was so good. His first quarter, I think he got like 7 or 8 posies. He was fantastic. Yes, he was a bit quiet after that. But the thing about Tom McDonald that I really love, he's averaging like 90% game time or more. He is always on the field. And against Brisbane, the ball's going to be in the back line. Brisbane are not going to be that shit they were last week against North. I really like Tom McDonald. And what forward is he going to play on for Brisbane? Like Eric Hipwood? Oh no. I think Tom McDonald's great there. I'll just speak about the rest and handball off to you, Jono. Christian Petrarca for 20. I've chucked him in there as that little extra just to get us over $3.50. And he's popping off. While Clayton Oliver is struggling a lot this year, Christian Petrarca is shining. Josh Dunkley, super consistent for 20 as they come. He is the midfielder that's the best odds there behind Ashcroft, Neil, Hugh McCluggage. I really like Josh Dunkley. And Jake Bowie. Him and Noble have been like my boys this year for halfback flanker.
We might have to start looking at him for 25, I think. So.
Bowie?
Yeah. Look at those numbers. They're fucking
good. He's had a good month. Just remind you guys, the only miss he had there
was against West Coast.
Exactly. So, yeah, I am very bullish on Jake Bowie. So, you want to speak about anyone there or then take over to the 15?
No, I like those picks a lot. Darcy Wilmot and Bowie are the ones that stick out for me, like especially for 20 for Bowie. Like, fuck me, they're going to keep giving that to us. Take that every day of the week. Anyone else in there that sticks out? Not too much. It's a bit of a weird game. Honestly, I'm amazed at Levi Ashcroft. I know he's had a good couple of games, but to drop him down to $1.08 for 15, fuck off.
He gets a lot of like shit, a little cheap, not cheap handballs, but he's there. A lot of 1-2s with his brother. He is going to be fantastic. And in years to come, someone we're probably going to be betting on for the 25 posie bracket. But until then, let's just... Yeah.
Hopefully Clayton Oliver drops back into the 15 touch bracket in a couple of weeks, and we can start betting on him.
Yeah, what the fuck? So Clayton Oliver, I just can't bet on him.
We're not betting that. No way.
No. But Clayton Oliver, this is one of the only times in his career he is $1.24 in the 20 posie bracket. That is his price for the 25 posie bracket. He had an absolute stinker, and Jono was like playing Clayton Oliver watched last week. He had no touches in the first quarter, or
2 minutes to go, he got registered his first stat. Let's not even talk about touches. Just a statistic.
So this is what I've been worried about Clayton Oliver, where he's regressing into his last year. So he is not the player of 2, 3, 4 years ago.
And he's not going to be that again. He's not going to be what we used to see, but he could be a good midfielder again. But
and like he could be for a 20 plus, but you're going up against arguably one of the best midfields in the comp for Brisbane. So
they're going to tag, from all accounts, they're going to tag Lachie Neale with him.
Oh, yeah. I don't...
Now, I'm not scared if I've got Lachie. I'm not scared about betting Lachie Neale. Like, if there was value, I don't think there's any value in it, but I'm not scared about Clayton Oliver taking Lachie Neale if I'm a
Clayton Oliver's going to get run off his feet. He's going to...
No.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, Clayton Oliver has another shocker with this stupid tag roll, and then they drop the tag. I think this is the last week we see the tag roll, and then maybe we can look at him for 20 next week.
I don't even know how legit that is, because I'll be honest, guys, I was out last week on the Saturday, so I didn't get to see the Melbourne Hawthorn or the Essendon Syndicate.
He did a good job, in fairness, but I don't.
So he was genuinely tagging, like his role.
It's like a Willem Drew kind of tag, but I don't want to spend $1 million on a guy to tag to follow another guy around. That's stupid. So.
Yeah. So, as John, the point is this conversation is sparking uncertainty, and I don't want to bet on someone for uncertainty.
I don't want to. I don't bet on tags as fuck. So.
No. It's funny.
Willem Drew actually is.
And then I didn't mind Marcus Windhager, but it's funny. As soon as Windhager stops tagging, is when he doesn't hit 15. Anyway, it's a weird fucking couple of months.
If Clayton Oliver legit lines up to tag Lachie Neale this week, Melbourne's genuinely the biggest laughing stock.
I was about to say, I'm going to laugh so hard.
I'd rather lose by, I'm not a Melbourne fan, but I'd rather lose by 100 points and see $1 million player tag another player.
It's very odd, because I've been bullish on Clayton Oliver for 25 for the year, and he's been doing that, but you just got to see the signs where he's regressing, or where there's a role change.
I honestly kind of hope for us that he does have another drop off, and then we can kind of get him in that 20 bracket. Because as soon as the tag, as soon as they play him normally, he's going to shit 20 in. Like, that's nothing to him.
It's kind of what we're speaking about. We don't bet on really anyone after a tax sub, or we don't bet on someone after a drastic role change like this. Or unless it's a good role change. But this, it's like, I don't know what's going on with Oliver.
I feel like they don't do this 2 weeks in a row, and I feel like Brisbane come out and womp Melbourne. So yeah.
Someone I just wants to pick up from the 15 posse bracket, Cozzy Pickett. He has only missed by one posse once this year. Ignore the other low posse games. This year, where he's playing a lot more in the mid, helping out every now and then, he's had one miss, and it's by one posse.
I reckon we've even bet him for 20 at some stages.
Yep.
This year,
No, I did, and he got 18. So on that time, he did. So
that is actually some great value there.
Yeah, right. I do really like Cozzy Pickett. Doesn't quite trump the ones I have already, but someone I don't blame you for looking at. Stephen May is made of glass. I don't know if he's going to break his legs or just I don't know.
And Bowie's now kind of taken being the backline pig down there. So
all right. So just going back to the 20, Jake Bowie. These players like you Josh Dacos, Johnny Noble, Jake Bowie, just these players who are great kicks, run, carry, handball receives, kick outs. They are a punter's delight because they want the footy and will do everything they can to get it. And Jake Bowie has stepped up so much this year. It's great to watch.
Yeah, love it.
The other people in his similar position are Trent Rivers and Salem have also highlighted, but I just don't have nearly the confidence that I do in Bowie at the moment. So
No.
Yeah, and
also Salem's made of glass as well. So
yeah, Trent Rivers though has had that midfield role before, and he's hitting his last month and a half.
He did get an increase in CBAs too.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I could say, because I'm not going to bet on sort of two half backers in a very similar position. But Trent Rivers is getting a lot of the footy, and he's not always stepping on Bowie's toes.
With Viney still out, Trent Rivers will get. I think he had 50% CBAs. I feel like he'll get that exact same amount again. So,
yeah. No, I definitely agree. So yeah, Trent Rivers would be okay. Christian Salem, I'm not really feeling it.
If you want Trent Rivers though, this will be the last week you can get him, I reckon, with Viney coming back. So
Trent Rivers, I would still even go in the back line, but Bowie is just too damn good at the moment.
I like Bowie too much.
25 posse bracket. We haven't highlighted Zorko, even though I've put my hand up and I've been very bullish on Zorko for 25. We got him a couple of weeks ago for 34. We held off, and he got a 39 last week. But yeah,
I think he'll be fine. Honestly, I think he'll be fine this week. It's just we don't know.
Because I watch so many Lions games, I have my eyes on him all the time. Zorko was the player last year who wanted the footy, gimme, make space, or just demand the footy, yell at his teammates. But now he's like, yeah, kick over there, I can't be fucked running. So that guy's free, and it's just, I don't want that at the moment if he's not that hungry.
And I feel like he'll be fine this week. I feel like he'll be safe for 25. The one thing that would concern me though, the game starts and Kitty Coleman lines up next to Zorko in the back line, and you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, now there's like arguably 15 posies going away from Zorko.
Half the kick in going to Coleman. Coleman, like it's been a long time since we've seen Coleman play, but he is a very good halfbacker. So
yeah. And as Jono was saying, this is probably the last week because they're gonna really look after Kitty Coleman. He's been gone for a year and a half. They're not just
2 days, probably next week as well.
Yep. So Dane Zorko will stay in the halfback line. I don't see him going in the forward.
They're not going to move their All-Australian out of there. So.
Nah, that was a weird year or two ago, whenever that was. But 25. I like Lachie Neale, but just, I mean, he's had a pretty quiet game against North Melbourne. I don't really know who tagged him, to be honest, but he started out all right, but just, very quiet. So Lachie Neale can have a bit of roller coaster games like that, but I'd much rather like Josh Dunkley for $1.20, who has got a nice, consistent, solid
You're worried
range.
about that Clayton Oliver tag, are you?
Oh, Clayton Oliver has got me shaking in my boots right now.
Got you by the balls.
Anyway, no one else I really like for 25. Will Ashcroft. It's so funny because I said I was bullish on Will Ashcroft here for 25, right? And as soon as I said that, he dropped to 13. And then after that, 35, 34, 26. So I want to just say again that I am bullish for Will Ashcroft for 25, but I just want those teen disposals out of his game.
Yeah, I think we will need to see a bit like it. It is like, but the value obviously that the value drops with that kind of territory. But honestly, that's what we kind of need. We need him to do it for a month or two. So, yeah,
I really like him. Moving on,
a serious player.
Yeah, he is fantastic. Moving on to goal scorers.
And fucking nothing.
I have struggled to find goal scorers that I like. Like, yes, there's players there that you can bet on.
But that's about it.
Yeah. I like Calamachi. I like Christian Petrarca, but there's just none with certainty that I would bet on. Not like a Ben Keys, or like even a Hogan for 2. Like, I just don't like any of these players.
And I hate all Melbourne goal kickers.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm betting on like Petrarca, like a Melbourne midfielder, like the underdog, like at the Gabba, I don't like any of these.
I don't like.
Actually, one maybe I just like that I just saw now. If Kai Lohmann, I'm pretty sure he is fit. He's had a rough run to start the year, injured, been subbed. If he is fresh legs, full and gets full run time, I think he will finally bounce back because Kai Lohmann is.
If I had to guess, it'll be Coleman will come on for Kai.
Yeah, so I just don't know if he's fully ready yet. But this is probably the best price you'll get for Kai Lohmann. Yeah. So it's just his body that's holding me back.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that sums up that game pretty well.
No, easy. Let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, for our last game of Sunday, the Eagles St Kilda. So I was just speaking to Jono. I think I haven't bet on this one again. I'll post in the YouTube section if anything changes. But I was like, I could actually bet on this game right now because we have Ryan Burns, who has been probably my favorite 15 plus this year. I think I've bet on him almost every week and he's had one miss and he's been constantly over $1.40. We got him for $1.67 last week and he hit almost by half time. It was fantastic. Really like him playing off either half back or on the wing. Just one thing to consider, Mason Wood is back, who also plays a bit of the wing, but half forward. So Ryan Burns might lose a bit of time on the wing, but I still like him regardless. Ryan Marrick is probably Jono's favourite free money boy at the moment. So he's $1.22, Jono. How do you feel about him?
That would make Ryan Marrick better if he played on Todd Goldstein, I think. So, fuck. I feel like this is the last week before the betting companies actually stop giving us this.
He's been over $1.20, like this. He has not been in the dollar like teens or $1.10s yet, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think this is the last time we get it at a decent value. I think it's gone.
And there's no McGovern, so I'm bullish on him for 25. Like I'm not going to, but that's
Oscar
how bullish.
Allen will be down there. That's not gonna.
Oscar Allen's 8 posies are not gonna worry me. Yeah, Ryan Marrick.
I love Ryan Marrick.
Yep, absolutely.
And now one thing, just everyone keep in mind, see how we obviously do our last 10 games tracked here. We are up to round 10 as of this week. So
good pickup.
We have fresh data from majority. Well, obviously there'll be players that have missed games and things like that. But for a lot of guys, we're going to have this year's data, which is important, especially for a guy like Liam Baker, where you can see there he's 9 from 9 this year. If he hits again this week, he's 10 for the first 10 games. So,
yep.
Yeah.
That is a great point, something to pick up, because as John was saying, Liam Baker's hit every game for West Coast, and then when Ryan Marrick goes in defence and plays every game, he's hit. So there's a couple of outliers who haven't played the full game, but it's going to be fantastic when we've got all the data here for the last 10 games.
Oh, exactly. And the other one, just on your last boy there, we'll
Oh,
probably talk about it a bit later. Naz, I was there last week. He is so good to watch live, Naz, and also play his first game last week at the MCG on a big, wide ground. There is so much space for him to run around. What do you have, a season high 30? I don't think he reached 30.
And he did have a season high 30, but you got to remember, he was on the bench.
Spent a lot of time off in the second quarter.
He was hobbling. He went into a marking contest and someone stepped on his foot. And yeah, he was on the bench for like 10 minutes, came out and still hit with like 1 minute into the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah,
So
and he
good.
could have done that halfway through the third if it wasn't for the injury. Now, the other thing is just on that, like playing at the MCG where he's not at Marvel, he's not restricted on the width of the ground or anything like that. Optus is the same dimensions of the MCG. He's got all that open space again, and this time he plays fucking West Coast. So,
well, I mean, just speaking of, that's maybe the only thing that I'm concerned about, because when
I don't think he's different. He's different.
He gets up the ground a lot higher. So yeah, I like.
Even their long-term goal for him is to play as a midfielder. I feel like this is where a nice game where they could almost play him in the midfield.
Could you imagine he plays his whole game mid, gets like 30 plus? Oh.
Yeah, I feel like their long-term goal for him is to be a midfielder. So yeah.
Like that call. So that's the ones who we have picked here, and we've spent a bit of time on them, but it's just because there's not much else to pick from.
But I feel like these are they picked themselves this week.
Yeah, I'm really liking those bets. But moving on to the 15, we have Callum Wilkie. I just can't bet on an All-Australian defender, maybe against West Coast, who probably aren't going to get too many inside 50s. Harley Reid, he's had I think it's 2 misses this year. The only concern for me is if he plays a lot in the forward line, but it's against St Kilda, and when you think of like maybe a bottom 8...
I think he's fit now.
He's been playing a lot. Yeah, he's playing a lot more mid. There was just times where he gets like one posse because he spends a quarter in the forward line, not the whole time in the mid, but it's just that hiccup that
I would honestly, like, if we were going to add in another leg into this bet, which we're not going to, but if we were, I would like Harley for 15. I think so.
Jono's really bullish on Harley Reid, and I can see why.
Great.
Really good. Liam Duggan, I do like. I think he's the co-captain there. So he had a average start to the year. Well, I mean, all West Coast have stunk it up, but he is a decent value there for 15. So don't mind. Darcy Wilson, the small number 22 half forward wing role. He looked very hungry last week. He's had the 2 misses this year, both at 13. Great value. I know I'm speaking about Ryan Burns and how Mason Wood's back does limit his time on the wing. But yeah, Darcy Wilson is looking great. So like what I'm seeing there.
Yeah. The only other one I would highlight, and it's only purely because I think West Coast, they're not going to win this game, but I feel like they might be a bit competitive with Jack Graham. He's missed once this year since joining West Coast. So
yeah.
And it's not that great of value. If it was $1.25, then I'm really interested in it, I think. But
I think so. Yeah. It's crazy because he has been really short odds this year. And on the other end of the ground, you got Ryan Marrick, who has just been free money.
And it's just like, I'm so much more confident in Ryan Marrick hitting 15. Hitting 20. I'm betting off, fuck me. So
I'm literally like that SpongeBob meme where he's opening up his wallet, just paying money, anything on Marrick.
I can't believe they're giving Ryan Burns that odds.
I know. He's like, I don't know. Sometimes a lot of people are slow to catch up on these players, but yeah, Ryan Burns, who I spoke about, fantastic. If you want to see what Ryan Burn does, watch the first quarter of his game against St Kilda, against Carlton last week. Fantastic. Mason Wood, I've highlighted, but I'm just not going on.
I don't know where he'll play.
Well, if he plays more half forward, I think that's a worry. I included his 8. Now I'm just going to quickly look at this on the fly because I remember I included an 8 on purpose because he got tax subbed, or he also got I included the 8 to remind myself that was the game where he got concussed.
But he was dead in the water.
Exactly, but he was not going to hit anyway. So I might take that off next time.
That 8 was with 5 minutes left in the third.
So. Exactly. So yeah, I don't think he was hitting 15, but just be careful of Mason Wood because when he's playing on the wing, love it. If he is, I don't know, I'm just
been out for a while as well. I feel and he's had what was a concussion? He's had a couple of concussions, pretty bad ones too in his career. Like he might need a bit of time to get going here. So
yeah. Could easily just be, I don't know, maybe not a sub, just, I don't know, just easy boy into it. You don't want to throw these players out.
I don't think they'll sub him. I think Ross Lyon loves him too much. But yeah.
20 Posy bracket, we've highlighted the only two that we like and care about. Ryan Marrick, Liam Baker. Look, I could highlight Jack Steele, but I just feel like he's just hitting. And if I want a player, I kind of want someone maybe just a bit more than... look, I could highlight him. He's good value.
I think I could highlight Jack Steele against West Coast. I feel like this is an easy kill for him.
Yeah, that is a good point. It is against West Coast, who have probably the worst mid in the game at the moment. We've spoken about...
Jack McRae is just no value at all anymore.
No. I mean, look... All right,
not even in the 20... Like, 25 is too risky now for him.
Yeah, let's just, speaking of, we'll go to the 25. So, yeah, no, that's a good segue. He started the year off like an absolute pig, like in a good way, like just hungry for the footy. But just really tapered off after that one game he got heavily tagged. I don't know.
And this is the type of game they don't really need. Well, he might feast because he wants to get his stat line up. Yeah. But it's not a game they need Jack McRae to really light the shit up. So, he'll go out there and play, obviously, and play the whole game, but he might not need to do his huge amount to get him over the line here.
No, fuck, but he is against West Coast. Maybe a little cheeky highlight.
I wouldn't include, but yeah.
Wangan and Miller, though, we spoke about.
If there's a laid out into, like, say if Jack Steele's out, fucking,
McRae all day.
All day.
Yeah. So, I do like McRae. It's just, his last month and a bit hasn't been too fantastic.
And in a month's time, or 2 weeks' time, we might be looking at Ryan Marrick for 25. I
like Ryan Marrick for 25. Like, I mean, I'm highlighting him against, whatever, but I like Ryan Marrick.
I think at $1.22, let's take that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You take that first. Yeah. So goal scorers, I bet on Jamie Cripps last week who hit, and he's going up against St Kilda, which, I don't know, like a pretty good team, might clamp him down, but he's 9 out of 10, so he's the only player from like a bottom 2 team that I'd bet on for a goal.
What about, scroll down, Jack Higgins, 2 goals.
Oh, yeah, I haven't included that. Let's just hold on one sec. All right, I just did some editing there. Just Jono reminded me. Jack Higgins for 2 goals. I can't believe I forgot to include him in the little stat sheet. So he kicked 2 goals before halftime against Carlton last week. He was fantastic, and he missed the rest of the game because he was unwell. And there was actually a really good shout out from Jaya, who commented on the post saying Higgins left the track early on Thursday, and the game was on Friday. So he still hit, even though he was unwell. Hopefully that tummy bug or whatever the heck is gone. But yeah, he looked great.
Against West Coast, he's going to feed. So,
it's against West Coast too. I love that. So he has had 3 scoring shots in every game this year, except that one where he got 1 goal. So 9 out of 10. Yeah, I really like Jack Higgins.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah,
so,
I think.
Yeah. Honestly, we like we said, guys, we are wanting to have a bit of a safer week. That one is not the worst. Like there's bets that we've done in other games tonight that I think. This is a more safer bet than them. So
yeah, I think this one is safe. But again, I've said we'll include an update on the post section if anything changes. But I mean, adding Higgins in there, that looks great. I haven't done it. I haven't worked out the costs and stuff. But yeah, really like Higgins if we're including for that one.
I like that bet as well. I think it's a well structured bet. So.
Yeah, I think it's good. All right, I think that's everyone was spoken about for the game. We are going to aim to have our Jono's away. On holiday in Bali coming up this week.
Just got back, but no, we'll be doing a video. We'll be doing these videos. We'll do our review and we'll have another video. If depending, we might even be able to get next week's video up earlier. So. Yeah.
Oh yes, actually that's a great. I'm working Friday. But I was just going to say it won't interrupt anything really because we'll record on our review and then post the game, whether that be Friday night or Saturday. But yeah, no, that should work out well. All right, guys, if there's anything else, we're going to save for the review section, but hopefully we have a much positive week for round 10 because, we had a rough one last week, so bring on some good wins.
No, it's good. I think we'll be right, boys. And bet responsibly, guys.
Yes, gamble responsibly. Oh, and last thing, thank you so much for the comments and chatting. I love to see all the comments pop up. Everyone just saying who they bet on, what the struggles are, and yeah, it's great. The community having, you know.
Yeah, let us know your bets for each game, guys. Your wins, your losses. Like we love. We both do. We both tune into the comments. We love watching a game and seeing everyone pop up in the chat and letting us respond to you. It's great.
Oh, 100%. I'm either watching the game on my computer and I've got like, you know, fan footy or like, you know, the chat or something on one screen, or I'm watching on the TV and I'm fresh on my phone. Because like a lot of the players you guys bet on, it's the players that we like as well. So yeah, we all think very like-minded, so it's nice to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
No, it's easy. All right, you'll hear from us next week. All right, see you guys.
See you guys.